Eagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix on Lottery Day.
Lottery Day. What can we win, like 30 million?
I mean,
50 million,
yeah,
10 million?
I mean, you get a scratch off on
Imagine
$2.
those taxes.
It's NBA. I'd love to pay them. It's NBA Lottery Day.
It is that. And again, the San Antonio Spurs, I hate to say, are in the lottery again. Couple of shots tonight. So Cooper Flag, the grand prize, it appears, for everybody. So we'll see what happens.
You know, you think about the NBA draft lottery and the lottery guys that have loved San Antonio. So there's a 6% chance. There was a 14% chance in 23. There was a 21% chance in 1997. We know the lottery gods love San Antonio. The idea that Cooper Flag could be on his way. Whatever mojo, whatever you're doing, I've seen a lot of different people reposting videos from 2 years ago on lottery night here at the Roo Pub, which is where we are now, just trying to manifest it, speak it into existence. It's hard to recreate what we had here a couple of years ago, but we're doing our best. The Roo Pub said, yeah, let's do it again. Get in here to the Roo Pub between now and lottery time. Spurs get that number 1 pick. They are picking up your tab. So, and I know what it was like 2 years ago, and everybody kept saying, how much was it? How much was it? It doesn't matter because everybody had a great time. So as I look around now, there's room for you. Get on over here because you never know. It might be at the end of the day on the house.
You got a 6% chance.
You got a 6% chance.
There is a chance. As long as there's a chance, you might as well come in and try to get a tab on the Roo Pub. They're happy to do it, too. That's the good thing.
Well, that's it.
They will gladly smile at you as they're paying your tab.
Well, and again, you look at it, when the process goes down tonight. And I can tell you, I don't think I'm too out of turn in saying this. A buddy of mine that's a producer over at ESPN sends me a text earlier and says, when the Spurs win the lottery tonight, are you available to come on? Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. So I got a flight at 8:30, but I'll be on well before that.
Glad.
But it was just the way the text went because that's how the NBA feels about San Antonio when they're in the lottery, when there is a prize at the other end like a Cooper Flag.
Absolutely. Look, it would be fantastic. That would solve a lot of problems for the Spurs. You give them a shooter, give them another big fella to play some defense with Wemby, and that would be fantastic. But it's going to be a fun night, and then we can start talking about what the Spurs' next move is going to be. A lot of rumors out there today, Jason, with this Giannis Antetokounmpo, who says he's willing to take a look at some other things. So a lot of speculation, a lot of what-ifs. And that's what makes today fun.
Giannis open to exploring best fits outside of Milwaukee. And San Antonio mentioned, along with Houston, New York gets mentioned. I thought Stephen A. was going to blow a gasket this morning because they can't compete when it comes to what Milwaukee would want in return. But I'll ask you this. Depending on what happens in the lottery tonight, let's say the Spurs don't get the number 1 pick, but, there's a 26% chance they land in the top 4. Now, I would not trade away Cooper Flag, I would not trade Cooper for Giannis. But that 3rd pick, 4th pick, and whatever other package you have to put together to get Giannis, I'd be open to that. But if my choice was Cooper Flag, young, draftable, rookie contract versus Giannis, give me the upside of Cooper Flag as opposed to what I know I've got in a 30-year-old Giannis.
Yeah, I'm with you there on that. We talked about this before the show. I would take my chances and roll the dice on Flag instead of making the trade, trading that part of it for Giannis. I don't know. Cooper Flag's got too much upside. You pair him with a Wemby and a Stephon Castle and a De'Aaron Fox, man, you've got a pretty good makings of a good basketball team for some time to come. So I wouldn't do that either. But look, the idea of having a Giannis in San Antonio is really exciting, dude. I'm going to tell you, it's exciting. And Could anybody get to the basket against Wemby and Giannis? I don't think it's possible.
I mean, you look at it and you sit there and you say, I don't know. I mean, it's fun to think about, and it's weird to say. I mean, the idea of Giannis coming to San Antonio, culturally, it seems like the right kind of place for him and his family. You know, Milwaukee, San Antonio, it is an upgrade. The tax situation in Texas. And the one thing that we know, if the Spurs want Giannis, there is nobody, and I mean nobody, that can outbid, put together a better package than what San Antonio can when you look at the number of picks that they have. And if Milwaukee wants players, there's players available too if you wanted Giannis. And I would do it for about everything but that number 1 overall pick should the Spurs win the lottery tonight.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if they don't win it and we go with the speculation they want to put a package together for Giannis, keep in mind Giannis is making just about $60 million a year. So it wouldn't be cheap in that respect. So having said that, if you're going to make that move, you got to go. And I'll use Jerry Jones' favorite word, all in.
Well,
and I mean, you really do have to go all in if you're doing that, because you figure a 30-year-old Giannis, I don't know what, 3 years, maybe 4, perhaps that window opens for that period of time. And I would say you'd have to go all in. You'd have to stock this team and chase those rings immediately.
I would say that the Spurs have already shown they're all in. Then move for De'Aaron Fox, and if you were to get Giannis, they would be all. They're not bringing in that contract and giving up those assets if they're not. So to me, that would be the biggest signal that they're in it for the long haul. Giannis would help with the short term. You know, the next, what is he, 30? So, you know, got a couple, 3 years left on his current deal. Maybe he gets another one. But that's where I look at, like, man, if you got Cooper Flagg, that's off the table. And I know the owner of the Utah Jazz was on McAfee, and he made the comment like, you know, Utah's never traded up for the number 1 pick, almost of saying, look, whatever it's going to cost, guys, we want Cooper Flagg in Utah. Even then, if the Spurs got them and you start looking at Lauri Markkanen, would you give up the number 1 pick? Would any team that wins the lottery tonight give up the potential of Cooper Flagg for anybody else?
Well, I mean, he's certainly got it to build around. There's no question. But I think if you're a team that it has a lot of issues, then you have to think about the amount of draft picks you're going to get, and maybe even a veteran player or two. So I think it depends on who gets that. If you're the Washington Wizards, for example, I mean, they've got a lot of stuff to rebuild. So does Utah, for that matter. So it's going to be exciting, man. It really is going to be exciting. And, you know, who knows? Lady Luck, maybe she'll smile on us.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? And if Lady Luck is smiling tonight, you will be too. Not only because the Spurs have the number 1 pick, and also your tab will be picked up. That's your food. That's your alcohol. That's everything. Whatever you've ordered. Now keep in mind, you order it and they don't get it, you got to pay for it. So don't be stupid. Don't be that guy. But
we're all gamblers out there. Come on, roll the dice.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, between now and that pick. So get on in here to the Brew Pub, 281 in Redland Road, you know, just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. Great place to come watch any big event. Go watch that Wemby video, then get your ass over here, because it's going to be one of those kinds of nights here in San Antonio. Then you also have the NFL, which we know will open with America's team. We'll get into the details coming up here on The Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I'm just one of millions of members of Prize Picks that play daily fantasy sports every day, and things just keep getting better. How about 2,000x on your cash today? That's right, cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your best chance to add your favorite players from the court on Prize Picks lineup. And whether it's points, rebounds, assists, and whatever else, take your pick, more or less, for your shot to win up to 2,000x your cash today. Turn up your playoff hot takes into tickets on basketball and championship winnings every day. And there's stuff going on all week. Every Tuesday, Prize Picks will discount several projections on the board. They take up to 15 to 25% off savings and fun. And then there's Big Flex Friday. Those picks that don't win, you get your net losses back in promo funds up to your limit as soon as the lineup settles. Hey, there's money back. That's why I love Prize Picks. 2,000 times your money and some free ones. Download Prize Picks. Use the code Alamo for 50 free bucks. That's Prize Picks. Go run your game.
Being arrested isn't just a setback. It's a nightmare that can destroy your life and reputation. At Barton & Associates, we're here to make sure your one bad night doesn't turn into a lifetime of regret. Contact Barton & Associates today at TexasArrest.com. That's TexasArrest.com.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road as we get ready for the NBA Draft Lottery tonight. You can always watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. More or less, come hang out with us. Always a fun night at the Roo, especially on a night like tonight where anticipation is great. I know it's not Wemby, but Cooper Flagg, if you could get that guy, and
people
pair
have been talking
him with
about him.
Wemby.
For 2 years they've been talking about this guy. And then we're fortunate enough to get to see him play live and in person right here in San Antonio. So
and to think he should be wrapping up his high school career instead of planning to be the #1 overall pick. It's incredible. Also incredible that the NFL always rules. So on the night that the NBA is having their draft lottery. The NFL on Wednesday will officially release the entire schedule for next season. But by design, they have leakage. And the one that was released or leaked this morning is the opener. That Thursday night to kick off the season, they choose the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, which is normal, to play host to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. In Philly.
In Philly, of course.
So a tough start for the Dallas Cowboys, without a doubt, having to travel to Philly. They're going to get to watch the Eagles unveil their Super Bowl championship banner. They'll get to do all of that and then play a game against those hated Eagles.
There are a couple of things. One, I'm a little surprised the NFL is burning a Cowboys national game in the opener, as if they need the Cowboys there. That's always going to be a high-rated game. Although, as a Cowboy fan, I am thrilled that they're going to force Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones to sit up in their suite and watch the Eagles unveil a championship banner.
Well, it's not the first time.
No.
Cowboys had to watch Tampa Bay do it as well, and then the Bucs proceeded to kick their butt.
It's different, though. I just, the fact that it's Philly getting to do it, I hope that just pisses off Jerry Jones to no end. Because, when the dog has an accident on the carpet and you rub the nose in it, that's kind of how the NFL feels like they're doing that to Jerry Jones. They're rubbing his nose in it.
Exactly what they're doing, and he deserves it.
Yes, he does.
He does. So watch that and get angry and then do something about it. Yeah, it would be great to go to Philadelphia on week 1 and knock off the Eagles and get started that way. I mean, it'd be a perfect way to do it.
Well, and again, Brian Schottenheimer's first game as head coach and play caller. You unveil this new explosive offense and see what you get. And you think about it. I'm surprised that they're putting the Cowboys in prime on the very first game, because again, the NFL doesn't need any help there. And the Cowboys on Wednesday are going to have the maximum number of national primetime games that are available because, well, they're America's team, despite what some of you guys think. They are, and they're a ratings draw. And I don't know what degenerate is putting money today on it, but depending on where you look, the Eagles are already a 6.5 and or 7-point favorite.
I love it.
Well,
I love it.
But the over-under is like 45.
Well, I don't think anybody knows what the Cowboys are going to be. Obviously, they get George Pickens, somebody to pair with CeeDee Lamb. The offense should be good. Will the defense hold up, and how good will that be? And the Eagles right now, until somebody else does something about it, are the class of the NFC East. Class of the NFL, for that matter.
Would you put any money down today, the day after Mother's Day?
No,
for a game that won't be until September?
I wouldn't. I haven't turned into that big of a degenerate yet, although I wouldn't be opposed to it. Somebody do it, and you see how that line changes. Maybe you get a cup, some good action either way.
I don't know. I mean, over, under, I'm leaning over right now, but, you have no idea who's even going to play if there's an injury during training camp. Or I don't know. It just seems bizarre that game is announced and a line is available, and, there's some action going on that right away. But you look at this Cowboys offense, and they could be more explosive, should be more explosive with the addition of Pickens. And, it's interesting. Stephen Jones was on Mad Dog Sports Radio with Adam Shine and talked about the Pickens trade.
We look at him, it's just 2 starting receivers out there. We take him as more than a 2 when we were looking at the deal. Certainly we looked at the draft, in terms of scratching an itch, seeing what might be available there in the draft. But here you get a guy who's got experience, who's had great success in the NFL, obviously a tremendous competitor. He reminds a lot in our building of Des Bryant in terms of, his competitiveness and what he brings to the field, his edge. And, we were, as I said, we were looking at the draft as a way to look at filling that need when it didn't happen. We had some opportunities around the league that we were looking at, and this one, at the end of the day made the most sense. And whether it was Coach Schottenheimer and his offensive staff looking at him, whether Will McClay and the personnel group, obviously Jerry and myself, felt like this was the best action for us, and certainly one that made a lot of sense to us.
That did make a lot of sense, and I think it was a good move. Again, if George behaves himself, And already making some excuses, Jason. There was a tweet over the weekend that basically called the Steelers the cheapest NFL franchise. Now, Pickens claims he was on an airplane, and it wasn't him. He was hacked.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, because nobody can ever tweet from the sky.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't.
I got to pay $8 for that. You can get it for free, but I mean, I'm just saying. Either way, I've done it before.
Tweeted from the sky,
sure,
or tweeted something. Dude, I was hacked. That wasn't me.
No, I've never done that.
I mean,
maybe I should have.
Yeah, you know, they can't be a cheap NFL franchise at times. You just look at it. The fact that there is some whatchamacallit, bad blood. He got fired. I don't expect him to say everything was rosy there, because we know it wasn't, especially at the end. At the same time, when he was talking to the media in Dallas, he had a lot of opportunities to throw that organization under the bus, and he did not. At some point that he will, it just seems like it's in his personality. And he will slip up and say something when he's not on guard. The other day, his first meeting with the Dallas media, he was very much on guard and said all the right things. The bottom line is, and you heard Steven say it, and I think the Cowboys have to sell it this way because of all the egos in the room. 1A, 1B, not wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, because they're all starters. 1A, 1B. And I think Drew Pearson might have said it best the other day when he's like, whoever's open is going to be wide receiver 1. Defenses will actually determine who wide receiver 1 is because of the attention they're going to get, which means the other guy is going to get a lot of passes thrown his way and a chance for a big game. And ultimately, if you're a team player, that's what you want. It's ego that will determine 1 or 2. And he would not use the term wide receiver 2 the other day, George Pickens, when talking to the Dallas media. He said, I don't know, you always need more than one. It's 1A and 1B.
Yeah. Okay.
Get over yourself.
Is there anybody that is listening right now that does not think George Pickens is wide receiver number 2? There's just, I don't get it. And I don't know why it's such a big deal. CeeDee Lamb is your guy. You paid him an enormous amount of money to be your guy. Say he's the guy. What difference does it make? And if Pickens doesn't like that, tough titty.
Put tough what? I mean, in the you know, kind of feels that way.
Can I say that on the radio?
Not really.
No,
okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
I mean, it happens. But I get. But you know, Greg Popovich is famous for talking about getting over yourself,
right?
And the idea that, to a degree, George is going to have to get over himself when he gets into that locker room. You know, when you could argue when Pittsburgh made the trade for DK Metcalf, he became wide receiver 1. But however you choose to, I don't know, sell it inside your building, go with it. At the end of the day, does it really matter other than us talking about it? And that's where I go back to Drew Pearson was right. You know, you got 3 starting wide receivers. At the very least, you've got 2, depending on what your offense is. And whoever's open is going to get the ball.
I get all that. But it does matter when it comes time for contracts.
Well,
and that's when it may matter for George Pickens. Because, look.
If that's the case, I'm Steven saying, dude, you're wide receiver 3 until you prove yourself you're wide receiver 2. We've already paid wide receiver 1.
Well, they obviously know he's already number 2 because they got nothing else, and they've tried those other guys for a long time. Look, he comes in. He's the second wide receiver, and I get what Pearson said, and I understand what he's trying to do. But, again, that you paid your guy $35 million a year. He's wide receiver number 1. I'd put it on his locker. And if Pickens doesn't like that, that's too bad.
I think he knows.
Go play. That's why I think Pickens will consider another offer after this year because he believes he's a wide receiver 1, and I think maybe he is, but it makes a difference money-wise.
Well, and the reality is once Micah Parsons gets paid, and then you've got to pay that Smith guy on the offensive line, and that Smith guy, Tyler Smith, he has hired a new agent today. He's now being represented by Todd France. Todd France, Dak Prescott's agent. You know, one agent, Jerry Jones, couldn't cut out of the conversation. Todd France.
Yeah.
And that's now who Tyler Smith is getting represented by. So when you look at it, you wonder what kind of money the Cowboys would have if if Pickens wanted to stay, but I'm totally cool with him playing a year and figuring it out. I mean, it's like a Tinder date, if you will. He doesn't know the Cowboys. The Cowboys don't know him. They saw his profile. They swept whichever way you're supposed to swipe in those things, and they were able to get him. You got him for a year. He knows he doesn't want to commit to the Cowboys right now, and the Cowboys don't want to commit to him long term. And the Cowboys know if he leaves, they get a third-round compensatory pick in return. It's a no-brainer for the Dallas Cowboys. Actually, a really good 1 year, let's see what we've got kind of deal.
That's exactly what it is. That's why it was a good deal. It was a good move to be made. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. Pickens is certainly talented enough. There's no question about that. He's got the talent. If he can just behave himself and not get himself in any other trouble, I think this is a great deal for the Cowboys. We've talked about it, and I think this could work out really well offensively when it comes to that team in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Again, the Cowboys will open up against the Eagles on Thursday night, September 4th. Some other games that we're hearing about, and this one is kind of interesting. The Chargers-Chiefs game at Los Angeles is actually going to be in Brazil, according to the early reports.
Yeah.
So, again, the leakage of the schedule. And the Chargers can protect a certain number of home games, even though they know they're going to Brazil. They opted not to protect that game. Now, paying any attention, you realize that's basically a home game for Kansas City. So they didn't want that one. Now, the Chargers apparently, whether they said this or a reporter was speculating, let's protect the dates for people that don't come to SoFi very often. Since they play the Chiefs, at home once a year in the division, they didn't want to protect that game, and apparently didn't protect anybody else in the AFC West. But it's a big game for them to leave open.
Well, and I think if Brazil's getting treated to a marquee matchup, an early season, two good quarterbacks, obviously. So I think that for Brazil, it's a hell of a deal. And for whoever does that game, is that a prime game on Friday?
I think it is.
I think it is, which is a good matchup for them. So, but the Chargers could have protected that and not had Mahomes travel to Brazil. But I think it's good. You got two big games Thursday, Friday. If this plays out, and by all accounts it will, I think it's great. It's a great opener for the NFL.
And we know that there will be more planned leaks over the next couple of days leading to the schedule release on Monday. Now, a couple of things that we've also heard about the schedule. Peacock will exclusively stream a Saturday night primetime game in Week 17.
Yes, it's a Saturday night game, Week 17, Peacock. So
until we know who.
Yeah.
But again, I at this point, I don't know that we should all be surprised and react the way some people do when, oh man, now I got to go get that, or do sports bars have it? I think by now everybody has what they need to cover the NFL and see all the NFL games.
And again, you're right. It depends on the matchup as to how, with the urgency to go out and get that or find a place to watch it. But I saw that, and I just look, it's where we're going. It's where we're going, right? Streaming is the future, and Peacock's getting involved. Be a Saturday night game. Who knows? Be fun. I'll be watching.
No, that's it. It's the NFL. We're all going to be watching.
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Come hang out with us on this NBA Draft Lottery Day. Keep in mind, if you're here, you've ordered something to eat, you've had a drink or three, and Spurs end up the number one pick, you don't pay a dime. The Roo Pub will pick up your tab. You still probably should tip, but that goes without saying. But your tab could be free if the Spurs land the number one pick, so come hang out with us. Between now and then, we've got a lot that we're doing here on the Blitz. We're getting people qualified for ACL wristbands.
That's right. That came out over the weekend, and I was excited about that.
ACL weekend 2. Details coming up, but your chance to get qualified. And getting qualified gets you a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom to begin with.
You're a winner either way.
Plus, it's a Mellow Monday, so we do have a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom that we'll give away before 6 o'clock today. And it looks like we've got some concert tickets as well. So stick around here on the Blitz on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Keep it on 94.1 or come hang out with us. Let's talk about the lottery odds and Giannis. Could he be a Spur? Details coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA Draft Lottery. Where do the Spurs pick? We'll find out. And the playoffs continue. Are we headed toward the third round? We'll look at it all, but you got to get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-cation. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Guys, starting TRT has never been easier. Other places charge hundreds of dollars just for the test, but visit any Synergenics or Low T center and get the consultation and test totally free. Treatment is personalized to you, and most major insurance is accepted. With the freedom to choose if you want in-center care or at-home treatment, you're in control of your health. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635. And you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now, and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Progressive knows owning a home can be hard, but not always. Like when you're relaxing on your patio, enjoying a nice, quiet evening. So quiet. Except for the sound of the neighbor's party. Which you said you'd go to if you weren't busy. And your quiet night on the patio, that's not exactly busy, is it? Maybe you should just stay inside. At least Progressive's Home Quote Explorer lets you easily compare rates, so shopping for insurance is the easiest part of owning a home. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Is this our comeback music pledge? Spurs trying to get lucky tonight here at the Roo Pub.
I got you.
That's Pledge's goal every time he walks in to the Roo Pub. And tonight you got a chance at yourself and for the Spurs drafting the number 1 pick. Now I know why Pledge plays that every time he walks in.
He does.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Is that like his entrance music into the Roo
he
Pub?
plays it in his mind. It gets him in the right mindset.
Huh. Sometimes it works.
Sure.
Sometimes it does.
I mean, yeah. Meaning and everything. You just sometimes have to look deep for it. You know, it's interesting because the draft lottery tonight in Chicago, Mitch Johnson, the Spurs head coach, is going to be the guy in Chicago that we're going to see. And it's interesting when you look at everything that goes in place. Now, a lot of talk because, you know, the Pope is from Chicago. The Bulls are in the lottery. The Bulls have less of a chance than do the Spurs, right? But Chicago fans hoping for some divine intervention, I suppose. Either way you look at it, and the lottery, and follow me here, I heard this earlier on Rich Eisen's show, who's apparently on his way back to ESPN.
Sure is.
He was, and I don't know who he was talking to, but this could be the last lottery as we know it because so many players are staying in college longer that there will be fewer one and dones like you have with Cooper Flagg. You'll still have the European influence, but because of the amount of money players are currently making in college, so many are staying in college. And quite frankly, it's better for the NBA that way because they come to the NBA more ready because they've spent more time in college. So this could be an interesting lottery tonight. And quite frankly, I'm listening to that going, yeah, for the Spurs, this should be the last time they give a damn about the draft lottery because hopefully we're not a lottery city anymore. Hopefully this is no longer a lottery team. I expect playoffs next year. I expect playoffs in a long stretch of it. From here on out, the slow building process and not skipping steps BS should be done. Hopefully for the Spurs, this is their last lottery in a long time. And if that's the case, might as well win the damn thing.
Might as well. I mean, that's the way to look at it, right? And then who knows what's going to happen after this draft lottery? Will there be some wheeling and dealing all over the place? People talking about Giannis. And the report comes out today that Giannis is open to the idea of looking at other places. And obviously everybody then starts talking about the team that can provide the most to Milwaukee, and that's San Antonio.
And that's not a couple of guys from, I don't know, San Antonio Sports Star, wishful thinking. Everybody across the NBA, whether it's Shams or even Brian Windhorst, pointing to San Antonio having a lot of interest in putting a package together to attract Giannis to SA.
One, San Antonio, they have a great group of young players.
with the last 2 rookies of the year in Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle. They traded for De'Aaron Fox. They have a bunch of draft assets, and they've got 2 picks in the lottery tonight. One of them is this Hawks pick that's not on the screen right now, but you put this stuff together, they could offer potentially 2 lottery picks in this draft if they wanted to put an offer together for Giannis in addition to players on their roster.
And that's it. I mean, when you look at the picks the Spurs have coming up, their picks and all the other picks that they've assembled, you build and stash all those collection of picks to make a move. And the fact that they were able to get De'Aaron Fox without spending a lot of them, they still have all that currency. So if Milwaukee needs much picks to get Giannis, you could do that. And I am open to all of it unless the Spurs win the lottery tonight. I would not trade away the rights to Cooper Flag for Giannis. I would rather bet on the upside of Cooper Flag than trade that away for Giannis at 30 years old.
I'm with you there. I really am. As much as I like veteran players and the Spurs still need some, I just think if you get a if you're fortunate enough to get a Cooper Flag tonight, I mean, think about that roster. Young it will be, but you got a Flag, you got a Wemby, you got a Castle, and you got a Fox. And my goodness, well, I mean, what a foundation you've got going there. So, and look, Cooper Flag solves a lot of problems for this team. Mm-hmm. They need a shooter. He can do that. He can play defense. He's a big, tall dude. And I think all of the above. And it solves a lot of problems for this basketball team. It's a long shot, 6% chance, but they do have a chance, and this team has been lucky as hell.
Well, you look at it, and when the Spurs have won the lottery before, it's not like they've always had the best odds. I mean, Wemby was a 14% chance, which, by the way, is the best percentage-wise. They had a 21% chance when they got number 21 back in 1997. But you look at the 6%, a 26% chance of getting into a top 4. So when you look at the idea of Giannis, and granted, if you don't land inside the top 4, you wonder how attractive Milwaukee would be in those kind of picks, how interested they would be. If you had pick 2 or pick 3, would you move those or would you bet on the upside? Because, you know, there are 4 or 5 guys that are probably going to go in the top 10 that I think could be immediate impact type players for San Antonio. Now, Cooper Flag, that's a no-brainer. Outside of that, depending on what Mitch Johnson and Brian Wright and Pop think the Spurs need most, but you got a couple of kids from Duke, you got a couple from Rutgers that look like they would be immediate fits here in San Antonio.
Look, if outside of Cooper Flag, yes, I'm trading those picks away. I don't give a damn who they are. Yes. For a Giannis, yes. I mean, that's not even, I don't even have to think about it. Yeah, you trade them all away if that's what it takes. But it's going to take more than that. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's a legit superstar that can take this team from a lottery team to a championship quality team. I mean, just like that. So, yes, if Cooper Flag is the only one that I would say no, I'll bet on his upside. Other than that, anybody else can go. Well,
and then you look at the fact that they've got the 2 lottery picks this year, the Atlanta pick and their pick. Quite frankly, you package that in some of those future picks, and you wonder what all is Milwaukee going to want. I mean, Milwaukee's just maxed out financially, and they have no picks, right? With the Achilles injury to Dame, is he going to even play next year?
I don't know.
And so they're going to be their own lottery team next year. So I don't know. And everybody keeps pointing to either Houston or San Antonio. San Antonio has picks and players. Houston has some players, not as many picks. If the Spurs want Giannis, then who wouldn't? But it depending on what the cost is, but nobody could outbid them. So I say it that way, depending on just how determined San Antonio is to get Giannis, there's nothing that could keep them from getting him. They can put together the best package of any team in the NBA.
And it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and look for that. If the Spurs don't get the number 1 pick tonight, where do they fall? Now, look, Stephon Castle was the 4th pick last year. So, I mean, there is talent to be had, obviously. But, if Milwaukee, you got to believe that at least they're going to ask for a lot of first-round picks. You're going to ask probably for some young talent, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, perhaps. They may even ask for a Stephon Castle. And I'm saying, look, to get a Giannis, I wouldn't slam the door on it.
Depending on what Milwaukee's thinking is, maybe they don't want a bunch of those young players. Like Devin Vassell's got a decent contract.
He does.
If Milwaukee, as strapped as they are, could they be saying, you know what, we need a complete reset here, especially if Dame coming up that Achilles injury isn't going to play next year? They might not want a bunch of young players in return. They might follow what San Antonio has done and what Oklahoma City has done, and that is not take on a lot of big contracts and just start collecting picks and try to do a complete reset, which is possible. I look at a team like Utah, who they're going to be in the trade market trying to get that number one pick as well. What are they willing to give up? Seeing that I think Utah would rather get some players in return because they know they'd be going after Cooper Flagg, and that's their goal. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's going to be fun, and really by 7:00 tonight, we'll have a pretty good idea of at least where everybody's going to in the lottery going to be drafting, because the lottery itself doesn't take that long. I mean, it's a TV show. They're going to drag this out for 30-40 minutes, but in reality, by the time the games get going tonight at 7, we're going to have a pretty good idea of what could be in San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm looking on our YouTube page right now, and Jay Gahn says the Bucks will want Castle, a non-starter in trade talks. And I just wondered, does everybody feel that way? We're talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. And a rookie who had a great rookie season. He's got a lot of potential. There's no question about that. But I'm Spurs fans, help me out here. Would you trade if Stephon Castle was a part of a Giannis deal? Is that a non-starter for you, or would you consider that? I'm curious to know what Spurs fans would do with that.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. You could tweet at me at Jason Minix. You can also comment on our YouTube. And right away, Sam, keep Castle. Gilbert, love you, Castle, but bye. And Jay says a non-starter in trade talks. I just wonder what else is in there. Wemby is the only untradeable guy on this Spurs roster. I would put Castle at number 2 on that list, but depending on what I'm getting in return. Now, Giannis is 2 years and a player option left on his contract. Are you getting him with another contract? But I do, and Joe, you've said forever, you want a bunch of young players to build around.
Yes. Well, and with some veterans, like the De'Aaron Fox was my perfect scenario.
Yep.
Right? Bringing in a guy that's got some experience in the league. He's in his prime right now, and that's the kind of guys I'm talking about. We were talking about one of the best players in the NBA. I mean, you're talking about your team being good now, day one. You're good. Health obviously is an issue too for everybody, but I'm just saying, my goodness. See, and Big Hoss 63, I have to disagree with this guy. He says Giannis becomes unhappy, forces his way out. Giannis has been one of the most loyal basketball players to ever come into the NBA. This guy, and that's one reason why he may not leave Milwaukee. He may not want to leave Milwaukee.
Although Milwaukee has put them in a position where he still wants to win. Giannis is just so damn good, but he's also 30 years old. And he's got 2 years and a player option, so 3 years left on his deal. I don't know that he would force his way out, and he's going to approve whatever trade he gets sent to. The idea that San Antonio and Houston, both attractive because Texas and our taxes, but also you look at the future of the organizations and the way they're run. Now, obviously, a little bit of an unknown with the change at head coach going to Mitch Johnson, but at the same time, Pop is still in charge. He has a T-shirt that says El Jefe and everything. So it's still going to be done the Pop's way. But when I look at it, this seems like the kind of structure that that Giannis would want to be in. Remember, he won a title with Coach Bud.
Yep.
Coach Bud runs a program very similar to the way the Spurs run a program. They're not making these conversations if he didn't say, for the best of the organization, it's time for him to move on because they're out of picks and they're out of money and they've got no chance at winning anytime soon. They put together a roster for a short run. They got one title out of it. And it feels like that group in Milwaukee has run its course. They need a reset. So you could see where he's there. But I don't know. And, man, it would depend on the package that I would give up what I believe I have in Castle and this year's lottery picks and maybe even next year's picks for Giannis at 30 years old. Castle, I'm having the conversation, but I don't know. I go in. Wemby is a non-starter. Castle is almost in that conversation. A Devin Vassell, you can have. A Keldon Johnson, you can have. But
Jeremy Sohan.
Oh, yeah. But honestly, my belief, the Spurs thinking is Fox, Castle, Wemby feel like they're the untouchable part of the future of this organization, and what can they put around those three guys? So as I'm saying that, I am saying I don't think Castle would be a part of any conversation if you're also giving up a treasure trove of picks.
Well, I mean, that's all of that has to be taken into consideration. But I think if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you would want Castle. I mean, you would want him included in something like that, I would think. Look, it's all speculation, but the rumors are out there, and everybody's looking at San Antonio just simply because they have the most cash available. And by cash, obviously, I mean all of the above when I'm talking about draft picks and all of that kind of stuff. So the Spurs are the richest team when it comes to making a deal like that. Will Giannis want to leave Milwaukee for anybody? That remains to be seen. Again, the guy's been loyal as hell to the Milwaukee Bucks. He really has been. Maybe he leaves, maybe he doesn't. But it's going to be interesting, and you're going to start hearing about that. Depending on how the lottery falls tonight, you're going to hear a lot about that. Either Giannis, there's a Kevin Durant out there, which I'm not trading for Kevin Durant, period. End of discussion. But that's just me.
I would.
We'll see, I wouldn't. And you certainly, if you're not talking about a Castle or or three drugs, I think man.
I don't know that Durant's going to command that at this point. Now, Devin Booker would, and I might do it for a Devin Booker. But Kevin Durant seems like the sniper that the Spurs need. And veteran player, not long-term, but certainly can come in and be a part of the program. It's going to be interesting. The draft lottery tonight at 6. You can listen to it here on at 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star if you're not hanging out with us watching it here at the Roo Pub. And that rolls into tonight's game that you can also listen to here on at San Antonio Sports Star. Knicks and Boston. It's now a 2-1 series because Knicks fans showed up to the Madison Square Garden on Saturday afternoon with brooms, and then they got clubbed in the face with said broom.
They did, and they're going to lose that series.
The Knicks?
They're going to lose.
Boston looked like a completely different team. So did the Knicks. The late game tonight, Minnesota at Golden State. Timberwolves lead at 2-1. Yesterday, Cavs, they just got pounded. Their injuries hit them all at the wrong time. Pacers lead that series 3-1. And the Nuggets OKC series, which has been by far the best second-round series, that one now 2-2 after what we saw yesterday with Oklahoma City going into Denver and getting that win.
And that was a hell of a game. Denver started off that game pretty slowly. But that's a hell of a series, and that makes that game 5 muy importante, Jason. I mean, game 5 in Oklahoma City is going to be a brawl, and I'm here for it. I think that's turning out to be the best series of the second round.
Absolutely. Get into the Roo Pub here, 281 and Redland Road. A reminder, as if you need a reminder, Spurs get that number 1 pick. Roo Pub is picking up your tab. So come get a late lunch, early dinner, couple of drinks, could be free. Could be free. There's a chance. It's draft lottery night here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Made in America. Highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
The San Antonio Brahmas return to the Alamo Dome this Friday, May 16th for their Hats Off to Heroes game presented by Crisis Human Performance. Join the Brahmas in honoring our nation's heroes at this special military and first responders appreciation night. Fans are encouraged to wear yellow in support of service members as the team battles the Memphis Showboats. Plus, the first 2,000 fans receive a free Brahmas hat. Get tickets at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com. Our town, our team, our herd.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
DQ presents How to Hit Summer's Sweet Spot. The new DQ Summer Blizzard Treat menu is here. And as the official treat of MLB, we're swinging big with our fan favorite S'mores Blizzard Treat. Plus, new mixing bowl mashup with brownie batter and chocolate chip cookie dough. And even more in our stacked summer lineup. Hurry in today because nothing says summer like baseball and our new Summer Blizzard Treat menu. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good. Participation may vary. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Keep your ride summer road trip ready with parts, tools, and accessories from Summit Racing. We have what you need for pre-trip maintenance, plus essentials like emergency roadside kits, tire inflators, jumper cables, boost jump starters, tool sets, and a whole lot more. So hit the highways or take the roads less traveled with confidence. Shop SummitRacing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 25th, 2025. SummitRacing.com. Let's build it together.
The peace lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Congratulations to UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor. He was inducted into the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame Saturday night. Traylor was one of 9 individuals selected to this year's class, including Robert Griffin III and Patrick Mahomes. NBA Draft Lottery tonight at 6 o'clock. San Antonio Spurs have 2 chances with their own pick and Atlanta's. And the Cowboys will open up at Philadelphia Thursday, September 4th.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylow.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on at YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Roof Up, 281 and Redland Road.
Yes. No better place to watch the NBA Draft Lottery than right here. A lot of excitement, man. I every time I walk in here, Jason, I remember 2 years ago and the excitement that was in this room when the Spurs revealed that they had the number 1 pick.
That's what it sounded like.
That's it.
And, probably about 3:02, 2 years ago, there was, 10 people in here. And by the time it got closer, the place was full. And quite honestly, and you have to have been here for a while, but you remember 2013, although that was disappointing. 2014, we won the title. Those playoff runs, that's what the Roof Hub was like every night. And we need to get back to that. So get over here to the Roof Hub. Get your spot. And again, if the Spurs do end up with that number 1 pick, your tab is free. They will pick up your tab. Every open tab gets zeroed out if the Spurs win that lottery tonight. So come on out. What I find interesting is on the day of the lottery, on the day of the lottery, the Giannis story drops. And so there's kind of split level excitement because, Spurs fans hoping the lottery god smile on San Antonio, but now you got this seemingly real possibility of going to get Giannis. And judging by the comments on our YouTube page, and there's a ton on there, I think everybody wants Giannis except for at what cost? That becomes the question. You got others that are calling in like Eloy that are saying, dude, go all in, whatever it takes to get that guy. What's up, Eloy?
What's up, y'all? I know Pledge told me I wasn't all in because I don't want to include Castle in the deal. But you trade all the draft picks you can. I say it's pick heavy. You drew all the picks you can, and you go after them. And real quick. I'm glad you guys are trying to recreate the magic from 2 years ago. I got my lottery candle ready tonight. I got my Bucks of Lucky Charms ready tonight. We're going to get that number 1 draft pick tonight. It'll all be moved because we're going to get Cooper Flag tonight, baby. That's what I predict.
There you go. Hey, there's a chance, Eloy. There's no doubt about it. And as long as there's a chance, you got to have a little hope.
Well, that's it. I mean, he's got his Lucky Candle and a box of Lucky Charms.
He's stealing my Lucky Charms.
Yeah, don't do that again.
He's stealing my Lucky Charms.
I mean, and you think about, more importantly, what is going to be the flag menu item here at the Roof Up? Because you can come in and get the Wemby burger. And I know Pledge suggested the other day, since Cooper Flag is from Maine, they add a lobster roll to the menu here.
Oh, wow. Can you do that here?
Well, you can do what you want.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Would you put anything? Oh, really? I mean, if Chip wanted to put a lobster roll on the menu here, Chip could make that happen.
Well, I know Chip could make it happen, but I'm just saying a lobster, would that be popular here?
Just because you don't like lobster rolls doesn't mean that the rest of the world doesn't like lobster rolls.
I don't know, and I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that like lobster rolls when they're in Boston.
And again, did you know what faux gras or whatever the hell that was that went on the Wemby burger was until you had it?
I did not.
You had no idea, right?
No, I had no idea.
And then you eat it on that burger. You're like, that's damn good.
Yeah, no.
So I do think that a lobster roll would go if done well, and I would expect nothing less here at the Root Pub than for them to do it well. Yeah, I think it'd be fine.
Dude, I had a buffalo chicken sandwich for lunch. It's the best.
Yeah?
It's awesome.
Could have had the bison burger.
I've had that before.
Yeah.
I like variety, Minix. I don't order shrimp every time I come in here.
Neither do I.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I mean, sometimes I get wings. Most of the time. Their shrimp are fantastic.
Well, it is fantastic.
And if they can do that with shrimp.
And my wife's coming out here tonight, and I guarantee you that's what she's ordering.
Why?
Because it's the best shrimp in town.
And that's your wife saying it, not me.
She
right?
says it, and I agree with her.
The shrimp are so good here, grumpy-ass Greg Shelton even eats the shrimp tails.
Well, that's another story in entirety. That just, it's like eating your toenails, for goodness sake.
Well, I mean, Shelton does that too, so,
Unbelievable.
Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
A couple of interesting NFL stories. Dylan Gabriel, the forgotten third-round quarterback of the Cleveland Browns because of their fifth-round quarterback in Shedeur Sanders. Rookie minicamp over the weekend, and he does a little press conference, and afterwards, as the camera pans out, there is a Browns beat reporter, a dude that actually works for the Akron newspaper, and he's seen mouthing, "I'm taller than him."
Yeah, and you're also bigger around the waist than him, too. He didn't brag about that. I'm just saying.
Don't fat shame the guy.
I am fat shaming the guy. I mean, he said it 3 or 4 times.
At least 3 times.
He turned like everybody he knew. I'm taller than him. I'm like, come on, dude.
Well,
so what?
I mean, because not many people can say they are bigger than an NFL player, let alone a quarterback. Now, keep in mind,
this guy's bigger than most linemen, for goodness sake.
But let's be honest. This dude was listed at 6 feet at Oregon, and he's 5'11" right now with the Cleveland Browns. It's not like he's lost an inch. He's not that old, but at the same time, everybody kind of, eyeball measures, and I think this guy was stunned to think that he's taller than Dylan Gabriel when he was probably listed as shorter. I'm guessing that's what was going on there, but it is kind of comical when you look at it that way.
It is kind of comical, and look, the guy's probably catching hell today when he didn't mean for that to happen, because he didn't say it out loud. He's mouthing it, but it's clear as to what he's saying. So it was kind of a funny moment, I will say.
Nor did he expect to be on camera.
No, he didn't.
Because Dylan's done, and he walks away, and they pull the camera back, and you could see, and he's probably telling his buddy, dude, I'm taller than that guy. And look, as a tall 5'7", I'm not taller than many NFL guys, which is why I was very excited to meet Deuce Vaughn that one time. And Trendon Holiday. I believe those are the 2 NFL guys that I'm taller than.
Well, who knew that Vaughn was standing behind us when I had to tell the world the truth?
Mm-hmm. Then he got mad, and he picked up his mini helmet and walked away.
He did.
That was
funny.
That was so bad. Speaking of NFL in a weird kind of roundabout way, congratulations to Chris Berman. Boomer has signed a contract extension with ESPN that will keep him with the company through 50 years. Remember, he was 24 years old. That was his first TV job, and he went to this. I didn't know if this was going to work network, and he's been the mainstay. But the coolest part about that whole story is, one, he's keeping his job, but 2, ESPN will have their first Super Bowl in 2 years, and he will be a part of that broadcast.
As he should be. I tell you, as you look at the face of ESPN, it's got to be Berman, doesn't it?
Yep.
I mean, it's got to be. I mean, there's been some others that have come and gone, but Chris Berman's been the one stable guy there. Got the whole thing started many moons ago, and good for him. I'm happy for that guy, and I really am. I'm a fan of his, and so happy he's sticking around.
Well, and you look at all the changes in broadcasting, and he's been able to stay. Rich Eisen, according to all kinds of reports today, coming back to ESPN after being gone for about 20 years.
How about that?
Which really makes me wonder about the future of the NFL Network. There's been a lot of conversation that they could get absorbed by ESPN. He is the second big-time ESPN or NFL Network guy to jump ship, to go back or go to ESPN recently. And let's not forget Kay Adams. When her contract was up, they didn't talk to her. She started her own thing. It just kind of feels like the NFL Network might be, as NFL has always meant, not for long. That might be where it's heading. But the other big broadcast news today, and congratulations to NBC. They have signed some guy named Michael Jordan.
You mean the GOAT?
The GOAT.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan as a special NBA contributor when NBC gets back into the NBA business, which, of course, when the Bulls are making their run, that's when NBC had the contract. I'm not sure what his role is going to be, but you got the GOAT. You got Michael Jordan to do regular television.
And that kind of surprises me. I'll be honest with you. I'd love to know what they're paying that guy. I'm sure it's a ton, but he's just going to be an analyst, I think, in the same vein as a Charles Barkley and Shaq in that kind of a role. But I think that's what he's going to do. They call him special contributor. So
does that mean he works when he wants?
Probably, and can still play golf anytime he wants and all of that kind of stuff. But good for NBC. I think that's a good pickup for them, and I'm anxious to see how MJ does on the tube.
Probably pretty good, but he's probably looking around, and not that he needs any extra dollars, but looking around saying, "You're paying Tom Brady how much?
Exactly.
You're paying Charles Barkley how much?" Because all the rich guys, they all want more.
Of course.
And big for NBC. I can only imagine they reached out, and he was like, throws out a number, and they said, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
started laughing.
Well, all right.
Hey,
I guess I'm in. Guess I'm going to do a little TV work. Bill Belichick. Not a weekend to celebrate, I suppose, because his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, she finished third in the Miss Maine pageant over the weekend.
And you know what's bad about that, Jason? I was thinking about how many women are in Maine.
Oh,
it can't be that many, right?
Stop.
I mean, were there 3 in the pageant?
Oh, stop.
Idiot. I mean, Maine's like what a postage stamp.
Well, no, that's Rhode Island.
Okay. He was there, so he's being called the GOAT of boyfriends. I saw somebody put a meme like that out.
Supportive boyfriend. I mean, how many people at that pageant during the swimsuit edition, were thinking, man, who gets to go home with that? And, 73-year-old Bill Belichick sitting in the front row says, I do.
All I know is there were 2 better. So Bill, third place, Billy Belichick.
I'm curious, though. What would her chances have been of winning that thing? Because apparently she was second last year. If she wasn't famous now and dating Bill Belichick, I wonder if the judges used old Billy against her.
I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe it could be, but it's third place. There were 2 better. I wonder if Bill's looking. I mean, they're all the same age.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Give or take.
I've heard rumors, and no kidding, that there are reports out there that North Carolina might cut Billy loose. After June 1st, in the story I read earlier today, his buyout goes from $10 million to $1 million. So it's possible they could cut him loose, and it's kind of her fault.
I mean, look, there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Baggage that they're getting with Bill Belichick that they weren't expecting.
Yes, exactly right. So it'll be interesting to see.
We will find out. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of UCLA, but I will be if their geeks over there actually are onto something here. According to reports, the UCLA scientists are close to solving baldness. There's a molecule that you can rub on your head to wake up those dead follicles or reawaken follicles that have been sleeping and take them out of hibernation, and you can start growing hair again. Now, there's all kinds of products out there that I've just stayed away from. I don't know if they work, don't work, or whatever. Pills, topicals, whatever, but they say they're onto something that within a week you could have hair growth.
How about that? I mean, I thought that was pretty cool, and immediately thought of you when I saw that story. I was like,
"See, you sent that to me, and I thought, you SOB, you must have woke up over the weekend and something wasn't right, and you started doing research on ways to fix whatever problem that's starting to develop for you."
Saw this story. No, all my hair's still in place and growing just fine.
Son of a!
I'm telling you, but I saw this, and I know there's a lot of other things out there, but they're claiming that this is it. This is the bomb. This is the one, and it's going to solve your baldness problem. We'll see. If it does, there's going to be a lot of scientists over there that are going to be very rich.
Oh, exactly. If they need a test,
yeah, if they need a guinea pig, you're available.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do my part.
Yeah,
sure. Why not? We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, my
ode to Manu.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Absolutely.
It's just a tribute, right?
Yeah. Well,
sure, of course it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, of course.
I'm waiting for it to actually get worse so I could get, like a stamp in there for number 20.
I can't wait for you to do that.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That ain't happening. That's not happening.
Have you ever been with somebody, played golf with somebody, you didn't know who the hell they were, and then you find out and you feel like a knucklehead? I got a story for you coming up.
Yeah, Joe's got an incredible story. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
I also like George Clooney in general. Probably the most handsome man I could think of.
I think he smells of cinnamon spice.
I was once asked by a...
not cologne, cinnamon and
leather.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you need an electrician, you know Hill Electric is available for both residential and commercial needs. Hi, Jason Minix here. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my home through the years. They've added extra outlets in the garage, put up a spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whether you need additional outlets or USB ports, you need to fix a fuse that is always blowing or a flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, never a service charge, and always free estimates. So it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Hill Electric is a great locally owned, family-run business. Again, never a service charge, always free estimates. Call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or check their website, hill-electric.com. That's hill-electric.com.
Your marriage is over. You know it. Your friends know it. Take back control now with Barton & Associates, an aggressive, no-nonsense team of attorneys ready to fight for what you deserve. Contact us today at texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At Napa, we are the pros that know AC services inside and out. From professional-grade replacement parts to complete system solutions, Napa has what your business needs to keep your customers cool mile after mile. Need AC repair kits and refrigerant? How about compressors and condensers? Name the part, Napa has you covered coast to coast, behind a nationwide network built to keep your business ahead of the curve. Find your AC parts right now at Napa.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
FX presents Welcome to Wrexham.
For the last 4 years, it's been this roller coaster of magic.
The Emmy Award-winning series returns. Come on, Wrexham! With an all-new season.
We're going into a really tough division.
Birmingham are absolute favourites with the arrival of Tom Brady.
It's a friendly competition. Oh! Well, not so friendly.
Imagine the opportunity to beat Tom Brady at sports.
FX's Welcome to Wrexham premieres May 15th on FX. Stream on Hulu.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this NBA Draft Lottery Monday. Live at the Rue Pub as we get ready for tonight's lottery.
Already got some Spurs fans staking out a table right there, getting ready for the lottery, wearing their Spurs gear.
Got the Wemby flag.
Yeah.
They're ready to go, and they are hoping. They are hoping that it's all free tonight, but those dudes have water in front of them.
Nah, they got lemonade or
Is
something.
Is that water? No.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. They're ready to rock and roll tonight with the NBA Draft Lottery again. Spurs win the lottery, kind of like what we did here 2 years ago. Spurs get that number one pick. Your tab gets picked up by the Rue Pub.
Oh, man, that was so nice. They had to pick up a bunch of tabs.
They did.
When the number one, whatever,
the
rights to Wemby came out. But they were happy to do it.
Absolutely.
And it was a party after that because everybody stuck around.
Yeah, nobody left. I mean, it felt like when the Spurs won the title in 2014. Yeah. I mean, just incredible. And, this, you could say the calm before the storm. The draft lottery gets underway around 6. So I'm guessing 4:30, 5 o'clock, this place is going to start filling in and be just completely packed. So get here early is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, no doubt
about it. Get a table.
Absolutely, and start running up a tab.
Well, I mean, again, you might have to pay for it. So,
well, you might,
which is why I think these dudes here are pacing.
They're pacing themselves.
Yeah, they're pacing. But again, it's there. Now, Reinagel's not known to pace at anything. So you went to Houston this weekend.
I did.
You won't believe these crazy text messages that I was getting over the weekend because, he's got a daughter that is planning a wedding and the stuff that goes along with that, quite frankly, is for them to figure out. So I guess there was some venue stuff over the weekend. The girls were going to do that. You were going to go play golf with the future son-in-law and his dad, who has a membership at a country club down in Houston.
Yeah, well, actually, it's in Sugar Land.
All right.
It's called Sweetwater Country Club. So I'd never been there before, and we're driving up, Garrett and I, and because we came from his house, which is close to downtown Houston. So anyway, we're driving up, and you start looking at all these mansions. Just huge houses out everywhere.
Sugarland, yeah.
Yeah, and one of them, he pointed out, he said, Tracy McGrady lives there. And he said Shane sold it to him. Now, he told me earlier that Shane was going to play with us. He's one of his dad's friends, so he's going to play with us. I said, okay, that's cool. So I'm thinking, well, Shane's a realtor.
Yeah.
Right? He sold Tracy McGrady a big house, made a lot of money. So we get up on the first tee. Everybody's introducing themselves. And I said, I'm Joe. He said, Shane. And I said, man, this guy looks familiar. And he looks at me and he says, you look familiar. I've seen you somewhere before. So anyway, we couldn't figure that out.
You told him you were a TV star in San Antonio for 25 years?
I did say that.
Yeah. Do you know who I am?
He didn't brag. So I'm play 9 holes with this guy. Nice guy. Everybody's having a great time. We get up on the 10th tee, which you could see McGrady's house. And Ricky, who is the father of the groom, looks at me and he says, I know an old baseball player that used to live over there. And something just snapped. And I went and I looked at Shane and I said, what's your last name? He said, Reynolds. I'm going, holy bleep. I'm playing golf with Shane Reynolds, and I have no idea who this dude is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's a realtor.
Uh-huh.
Hell of a nice guy. So, after that, I felt like a donkey.
Uh-huh.
But then it was cool because, we started talking a little Astros baseball. And
did you tell them about your hate for the Astros and love for the Cardinals?
Well, I left that out.
You did.
I didn't mention that. It was a nice day. I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Bad word. I can't say that one.
But how in the world? Have you ever done that? Honestly, you're playing or doing something with a famous person and you don't know?
Yes. Actually,
it's crazy.
There was a time at the Super Bowl in Minnesota. We're at the cigar party, and that's Minnesota, so everybody is inside. Nobody's outside smoking cigars because it was, well below 0 degrees. And we're up in an area, and I mean, you've been to the cigar party at Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing but famous people all over the place, right? So, and it generally at a big venue, but somehow Rob Thompson and I and a couple other dudes, we are having drinks with this dude for about 30 minutes. Now, this dude got a cast on his arm and just the nicest guy. And, we're talking ball, and there was a guy there that runs Jack Link's Beef Jerky and our friend Mark Singleton from Southern Recipe Pork Rinds and this other guy. And we're 30 minutes into this great conversation. Who the hell knows what we were talking about? But he's just a dude. I thought he worked for one of those companies. And somebody comes up and asks this dude for a picture. And it turns out it's Mr. Chicken Fried, Zach Brown.
Oh, wow.
And Zach Brown knew that Rob and I had no clue who he was, which is why he was enjoying the conversation.
It's hilarious. I tell you what, I was just like, and I'm not kidding, as it just snapped. And they said ball player, and everybody looked at Shane, and I'm like, hey, what's your last name? Reynolds. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And then you're like, I knew you looked familiar. Right. I knew you were there.
Well, he did. He did look familiar, but dude, I never saw Shane Reynolds before in my life except in an Astros uniform.
Sure.
Right? So I would know him from Adam in shorts and a golf shirt and a hat.
So why did the future son-in-law not tell you were going to go play golf with a major league pitcher, a guy who is in the Astros Hall of Fame?
Well, he thought he did. But I don't know, and if they did, it went over my head.
So, in other words, you weren't paying attention.
Well, that's possible.
Oh, no, that's not possible. That's probably what happened. It's like, hey, we're playing with Shane Reynolds today, and you're like, I don't give a damn. He plays for the Astros.
No, I swear. He said, hey, my dad's friend Shane is going to play with us. Thinking, okay, no problem. That's fine. We needed a fourth. That's good.
Uh-huh.
And then he said, yeah, Shane sold Tracy McGrady that house. Well, this dude's a swanky realtor.
Uh-huh.
Sells big mansions.
So, in other words, that 25,000 square foot starter home for Shane is now Tracy McGrady's palace.
Yes, and it's huge. 25,000 square feet. And then Shane's telling this story where he's got this wood that he got from Africa or something in one of the rooms, and he wanted it back, and he
wanted the wood out of the house.
He wanted the wood out of the house because I guess McGrady didn't want it, whatever the story was. And he said, well, he called Tracy McGrady, and McGrady said, well, I already put carpet in. I already tore it out. Carpet's purple. Purple carpet for Tracy McGrady. So anyway, that's my donkey story of the weekend.
Yeah, these text messages I'm getting from Reinagel over the weekend. All of a sudden, it's like you're playing with the rock star and you don't know what to do, and that's how it goes.
Dude, I sent it to you. I said, dude, I've been playing golf with Shane Reynolds for all afternoon. Didn't even know it.
Yeah.
And so, but after that, it was cool because it's again, the nicest guy. I mean, he's nice as hell. He was a very friendly guy.
But he probably one of two things: either he knew you had no idea who he was, and he was good with that, because the final 9 holes, he probably had to do nothing but tell stories to entertain, the new guy in the group who's going to go tell all his friends that he got to play golf with the Major League Baseball player.
I did. I've been telling that story ever since.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
It's like my jelly roll. When I have a good story, I like to let people know about it.
Well, at least Shane knows about this one. Jelly Roll still has no idea that you were comparing him.
No clue.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's my my claim to fame this weekend. Played golf with Shane Reynolds
and kicked his ass, huh?
I did. I kicked everybody's ass. Pledge knows how that feels. So
wow.
I mean, everybody, it was a nice golf course, and I played well. I did.
And he didn't.
He didn't play well, but they tell me he's a really good player. But he didn't play very well. And the groom's father, Ricky, had brought along some Jim Beam honey.
Yeah.
For birdie juice.
Yeah.
I'm the only guy that made birdie. Made 2 of them.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason we got to drink that.
Really?
So they owed me a lot that day.
Did they really?
They did, yeah.
Yeah. Birdie juice.
Birdie juice.
Sounds like a winner.
Fantastic.
So in reality, your story should be you were doing shots over the weekend with Shane Reynolds.
Well, now Shane Reynolds doesn't drink a lot, is what I was told. But, he took in a couple of shots. But he doesn't drink a lot. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
So, and I'm cool with that.
And you didn't get drunk and make a fool of yourself in front of Shane Reynolds?
Well, I didn't make a fool of myself, other than not knowing who the hell he was. But, yeah, I consumed large quantities of beer. Yes.
Yeah, make a fool of yourself in front of the future in-laws.
Oh, they know me. It's fine. That's fine. That's nothing new.
Nothing new.
Yeah, nothing new there. So it's all good.
Well,
dude, I don't like to, pretend. You either like me or you don't. And that's it. If you don't, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, no, you're not.
I am, really. I'm cool with it. Doesn't most people like me anyway?
Do they?
Well, at least so that's what they say to my face. When my back's turned, I don't know what the hell they're saying.
Man, your new bestie, Shane Reynolds. No wonder you were trying to figure out if you can order one of those old school Astros jerseys, with the blue and gold logo on the front.
Never.
That he used to wear. You're going to wear that, and that's going to say Reynolds.
Nope.
And then now you're going to call up. It's like, hey, the Cardinals are in town. Shane, can you hook us up with some good seats?
Well, apparently, and I didn't know this, that the groom's dad and Shane Reynolds been friends for years.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
So that's the way it goes. So
you got a lot to learn about the family. They've been holding out on you.
They really have. So the next time, I want to go to an Astros game. I'm calling the son-in-law and saying, hey, dude.
You got to wear Astros gear.
I'm not wearing Astros gear.
You're going to wear Astros gear.
I'll be a big red Cardinal jersey.
You're not going to get in. I mean, when we're at the Rangers-Cardinals game here in a couple of weeks with a bunch of listeners, you're going to be all Rangered up.
No, I won't.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be Well, Saturday I'll be in my Cardinal gear.
On Friday?
we got to do a show from the Rangers stadium. So
yeah,
I want them to be nice. Now maybe I'll put on a Cardinals jersey after the show.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That's not gonna happen. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star on this Mellow Monday. We got a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Let's give it away right now. Do you remember Shane Reynolds' number?
12, wasn't it?
Let's go caller number 12. I don't know. 656 ESPN 656-3776. Caller 12, you win $50 to Mellow Mushroom here from the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA Draft Lottery. Where do the Spurs pick? We'll find out.
And the playoffs continue. Are we headed toward the third round? We'll look at it all, but you got to get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, summer is here. Time for gatherings, time with friends, family, activities, vacations. But how are you going to do that if you're dealing with low energy caused by low testosterone? The answer is simple. TRT from Synergenics and Low T Center. Go to fixmylowt.com to book that first appointment. You might see those online TRT services and think they're convenient, but really the hassle just even getting started. You end up spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time with unreliable test kits, and you wait for days for lab results before you even begin treatment. They say you meet with the doctor, but sometimes you don't even see an actual person on screen. Do you want to trust your health to a chat? Worst of all, you have to wait again to get your meds in the mail. Not really quality care. Trust the experts at Synergenics and Low T Center. They've been changing patients' lives for a combined 25 years. Most major insurances are accepted, so you have no excuse. Book that first appointment now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
George gets justice in an instant. A careless driver turns your life upside down. You're hurt. The bills pile up and work stops. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, your consultation is free. No fees, no pressure, just real help. Justice starts with one call. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Make sure you're listening all week, the Morning Huddle and the Blitz, to get registered for your chance to win a pair of 3-day wristbands, the ACL Festival weekend at 2. Obviously, Zelker Park in Austin. They got the 9 stages over 2 weekends, October 3rd through the 5th, and then the 10th through the 12th. We're giving away weekend at 2 wristbands at the end of the week, getting you qualified. Hosier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, the Strokes. I mean, so many. So make sure you're listening to both the Morning Huddle and the Blitz. Each show's got some wristbands that we're giving away, getting people qualified daily. And when you get qualified, you win a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom there at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. And then at the end of the week on Friday, we'll draw a winner. So at least you're going to win $50 to Mellow Mushroom. You could win 3-day ACL wristbands. Now, if you don't want to wait to try to win, you could always buy them now, aclfest.com.
So your odds at the end of the week are better than the Spurs odds tonight of winning the lottery.
That is correct.
So that's pretty good. So it's just 5 people, correct? And one of those 5 will get the wristbands.
Which is very cool. And they're 3-day, which ACL is always so much fun. And this year's lineup, solid all the way around. So becomes the live music capital of the world those 2 weekends in Austin. And it's hard to imagine that, it's May 12th and we're already thinking about October. But we know if you've been to ACL, secure your wristbands now.
Well, especially if they're free.
Yes.
That's even better. You don't have to buy them. So that's good. So listen here to us and the fellas in the morning to get qualified for that. And we'll draw a winner on Friday.
Yep. And we'll get somebody qualified a little bit later on in the show. So stay tuned for your chance at getting qualified for those 3-day ACL weekend 2 wristbands. The draft lottery happening tonight. You talk about chances. The Spurs do have a 6% chance of landing the number 1 spot, a 26% chance of landing in the top 4. Right now, if you were going chalk, they would go 8 with their pick and 14 with Atlanta's. But we know how this process works. Now, I'm not getting into the weeds about the process and the formulas. I was trying to read that again. Dude, just tell me the order. Or can we go back to, instead of needing 4 math degrees and all this stuff of, I don't know, putting the different lottery balls in there and reaching in, spinning around, kind of old school. Is there a different way we could do this to make it a little bit more entertaining and secretive, in the fact that everybody that goes in the room, they all apparently have to raw dog it because they're without their phones for an hour. So what's going on in that room, there's no way of letting that out.
They're raw dogging it at the draft lottery tonight.
They're raw dogging in Chicago tonight.
Wow.
All those NBA executives, they go in that room without their phone. Apparently, that's called raw dogging in 2025. It's taken on a whole new meaning.
I thought
but
Diddy was on trial. Is he not?
That's
okay.
completely different. Very, very different. Again, it's keeping up with the kids. That term meant something different to me up until the Pope got elected, and I learned something new.
Well, look, I still, I'll go back to the old definition of raw dogging it. I'm still not sure that fits.
I know that pun was unintended, but well played, sir.
Yeah, well, that's we're going to stick with the old.
You just get uncomfortable hearing said term, huh?
Well, no, but I mean,
look, if you're without your phone for a period of time, apparently in 2025, that's called raw dogging.
Well, apparently, according to one CBS guy, I'd be surprised if he still got a job.
You look it up, and they've changed. The kids have changed the rules.
The kids have changed.
And Pledge said he's heard this term before, and depending on the night, Pledge uses it both ways. I asked my kid, "Hey, is there a term for being with your phone for about an hour?" And she said, "Yeah, nap time." That's the only time she's without her phone for that length of time.
Right. I don't know, but it's going to be a fun night. There's no question about that, and there is a shot. I mean, who knows with the luck that this Spurs team has had over the years? Who would anybody really be surprised if they ended up with the first pick? I mean, honestly, would you really be surprised? I would not. I almost expect it at this point in time.
Well, I mean, Utah, New Orleans, and Washington have the combined best odds at 14%. And you look at Philadelphia at 10.5%. We know nice things don't happen in Philadelphia. Brooklyn at 9%, Toronto at 7.5%, Spurs at 6%, Rockets at 3.8%. The Bulls, they have a Pope and a 1.7% chance, right? So, I mean, you look at it and you look at the different combinations that they're going to go through. The Spurs with Atlanta's pick get another 0.7%. So you could say the Spurs actually have a 6.7% combined chance at landing the number one overall pick.
Again, it would not surprise me if they win this lottery tonight. At worst case scenario, you get a top 5 pick, you're going to be in pretty good shape and some options probably on what to do with that, depending on where you want to go and how you want to go about it. But look, this is it's going to be fun. This is a good one here. I like this, and I wish we weren't in the lottery, to be totally honest with you. I wish the Spurs were still playing in the playoffs, but here we are.
Well, hopefully this is the last time there's lottery talk involving the San Antonio Spurs. And I know 2 years ago when we landed the number one pick and everybody at the Roo Pub got everything paid for, we didn't think we were going to be in the lottery again. Yet we were last year, and here we are again. We're done with it. As a Spur fan, I know I'm so ready not to be in the lottery. I can't wait until it's just another day. Can we get to the playoff games? Because we're not in it. And by all accounts, the Spurs are already, Jerry, all in. The move for De'Aaron Fox signaled that. It looks like this team is ready to build around Wemby, Castle, Fox, and whoever they end up with this lottery pick tonight, whether it's Cooper Flagg, hoping it's Cooper Flagg, or do they end up working a trade? It's no surprise and probably very strategic of Milwaukee to let it out on lottery day that Giannis is open to exploring trade possibilities, because the Bucks are stuck with their roster, the amount of money they've committed, their lack of picks, a hurt Dame Lillard, and Giannis wants to still compete for championships. A dude that loves Milwaukee and has been loyal knows that group has gone as far as it's going to go, and they are looking at a total rebuild. What is Milwaukee going to want in return? Probably not a lot of players, but a lot of picks. What do the Spurs have? A boatload of picks.
They've got that. That could certainly be a part of it. And the thought of having Giannis here in San Antonio is exciting. I mean, let's face it, that would be outstanding. And you talk about a marquee lineup to open up the season, it would just be fantastic. So we'll see what happens and see what they do. I think a lot may determine or may depend on where they do fall in this lottery. Is Milwaukee going to be interested in that? But I think it's a real thing. I mean, there's just too much smoke for there not to be a little fire somewhere when it comes to this. A lot of teams, though, are going to be interested in Giannis. The difference is, are they going to be able to – nobody can offer what San Antonio can. So if the Spurs want him, they certainly have the freeway to go get him.
Well, that's it. How much do the Spurs want him? You listen to Brian Windhorst on ESPN. Spurs are definitely in on Giannis.
One, San Antonio. They have a great group of young players. With the last two rookies of the year in Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle. They traded for De'Aaron Fox. They have a bunch of draft assets, and they've got 2 picks in the lottery tonight. One of them is this Hawks pick that's not on the screen right now, but you put this stuff together, they can offer potentially 2 lottery picks in this draft if they wanted to put an offer together for Giannis, in addition to players on their roster.
Now, let me ask you this, Joe. If the Spurs end up with the number 1 pick, which means you've got the rights to Cooper Flag, do you trade that to Milwaukee?
I would not. Now, look, and I know people may say it's crazy because you've got one that is proven, the other one is not in the NBA, but the potential for a 19-year-old kid to pair with a guy like Wemby, it'd just be too intriguing to trade that away.
What would you guys do? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can also comment on our YouTube channel. You can watch us there on YouTube. Comment, just search out the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel or tweet us at Joe Reinagle 210. I'm at Jason Minix, the station at SA Sports Star. I'm with you. I would rather bet on the upside of Cooper Flag than the proven Giannis. Now, if you're at pick 2, 3, 4, and whatever other pick they get in this lottery, you want to package those and some of those other future picks for Giannis, I'm down with that. Cooper Flag, I don't give up on at this point if you get a chance to get him. But everybody else in this draft, while there could be some great cornerstone players and some dudes that fit what we think the Spurs need, and I say we, I think about the draft the Cowboys just had, and what we thought and what they thought were 2 very different things. But it's pretty obvious what the Spurs need. They've got a great young core. But if you could add a 30-year-old Giannis who has 2 years left plus a player option, so potentially 3 years, I'd roll the dice on that in a heartbeat for everybody but the rights to Cooper Flag.
Well, I tell you what, it'll be interesting if it comes down to that. I don't think it's going to, but yeah, I mean, and you're rolling the dice if you do that. You know, if say the Spurs get the number 1 pick and Milwaukee says we want that, and here's Giannis. I mean, it would be tough to say no to that. It really would be tough to say no to that. But you're either going to gamble or you're not. And I think that kid's worth gambling on. I really do. But you've got a Hall of Famer waiting in the wings that could come down here and make this team a contender right away.
Eric Bishop on our YouTube channel says people wanting an unknown could be a bust over a proven in his prime Hall of Famer is absolutely insane.
And I get where he's coming from.
I disagree with that to a degree. I get your thought process there, but Giannis is 30. If he were 26, 27, that's a different story. But at 30, to give up on a guy like Cooper Flag, and quite honestly, and you and I were sitting together watching Cooper Flag in the Alamo Dome playing in the Final Four, and just watching the way he moves away from the ball, his seemingly basketball IQ, never out of position, the passing that kid made, watching him in person sold me on what I think this guy is going to be more so than anything I'd seen on television. Because, and you and I were sitting there talking about it. The game's going on, and we're having a conversation just watching Cooper move away from without the basketball in his hand, just everything that he was doing. And so, yeah, I get it. He's unknown. Could he be a bust? Sure, he could be. But you only get so many opportunities to get a player like that. And if the Spurs win the lottery again tonight, the lottery gods smile again. I don't know how you just trade that away. And I love Giannis, and I think he'd be a perfect fit in San Antonio. But I would rather bet on the 19-year-old that I'm going to develop with Wemby, not to mention the financial implications of absorbing that Giannis contract, knowing that Wemby's about to get the super max and then whatever else.
Well, and you're talking about close in the neighborhood of $60 million a year for the next couple of years, and then it's his option. I just think, look, if you're going to go the Giannis route, if that's what you decide to do, you're thinking about winning a championship right now.
Yep.
There is no more skipping steps or following the process. You're saying we're going to win now. We want to win now. The window is open right now. So then you trade away your future if that's the way it went with a Cooper Flag.
Now you're selling me the other way. See, now, Eric Bishop, I'm going to jump onto your side of the fence for a minute. If I go get Giannis, I expect to win now.
Absolutely.
In the next 3 years, we're having a river parade.
Yes.
Does the business side of things for the Spurs now come into play? Are we sacrificing the future for the right now? And I say that they need a building built, and they're going to ask San Antonio taxpayers for a boatload of money. When you don't ask for money, paying attention, city is in $150 million debt, give or take a couple bills. If you're winning, a lot easier to get that yes vote for the new Wemby Center than if you're in the lottery again.
That's true.
If you're still skipping steps. So from a business standpoint, we better win now. And a Cooper Flag certainly brings another level of excitement. What we saw 2 years ago. Giannis signals you got, depending on what all goes in this trade, but Giannis, Wemby, Castle, Fox, if that team isn't at the very least in the Western Conference Finals next year, some people's jobs are going to be on the line.
Look, if Wemby and Giannis stay healthy and that you pair them together, I don't see how there's any way. I mean, it's almost an unstoppable combination. And you got a De'Aaron Fox distributing the ball to those guys. He's a shooter as well. Look, I can see it both ways. I really can see it both ways. But what's your mindset? Are you going to roll the dice and try to keep this team together a long time? Or are you saying, yep, bring Giannis in. We want to win right now because of all the things that you just mentioned. So, well, first thing the Spurs have to do is win the lottery. That's the first thing they've got to do. It's a long shot to do that, but it wouldn't surprise me. And then you go from there. I can see exactly where Eric Bishop is talking about there. We want to win championships. That's professional basketball. It's been a long time.
Well, and again,
since the Spurs won a championship.
We're not skipping steps. So, and think about what you just said. It's been a long time. The other team that gets mentioned a lot for Giannis, Houston.
Yep.
And how many times does Houston look like they're ready to take the next step only to fall short? It is pretty incredible how spoiled we are. And with the new coach in Mitch Johnson, even though, Pop is still running everything, you just wonder the urgency for a guy like Mitch Johnson to win and win early. Because I mean, I know I just said, man, if they're able to make these moves and we're not any better, the short leash. I'm a frustrated Spurs fan. I want to win now. I thought this year was the year, and they made that move for De'Aaron Fox. And at the time, I said that's the difference between being a play-in and a playoff team. Now, blood clots happen, and that changes everything, reasons or excuses. But I am so ready not to be in this lottery business and getting back to competing for championships.
Look, I am too. I mean, and you said, I don't know what is a short or long amount of period of time. It's been 11 years since the Spurs won a championship. 11 years. Mm-hmm. I know it's been, 7 since they've been in the playoffs, 6 or 7?
Yep.
And all of that's ridiculous. And I've never bought in professional sports, and I guess basketball is the only team sport that you can do this maybe and get away with it, and that's to rebuild. Look, I even look at Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City, and look what they're doing. They're there, but there's no guarantee they're going to get past Denver.
No.
I mean, so think about it. They've done it the so-called right way, and they're struggling with the Denver Nuggets, who is a very good basketball team. Don't get me wrong. But what is the best way? To me, I say you win now, and the hell with this building stuff.
What would you guys do? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We'll take your calls coming up. Come hang out with us here at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. You know the drill. If San Antonio lands that number one pick, they pick up your tab. So come grab a table early.
Yes.
Because there's a chance you're going to be smiling and eating for free. Let's hope. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Jason Minix here. You know me. You know the Roo Pub is my go-to spot. No better place to go watch any big game, any big event than the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And when you go into the Roo Pub, go hungry. The food is fantastic. I love the fried shrimp on the menu. They have the biggest and best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger. And they have that new bison burger that is outstanding. Maybe you want a chicken sandwich, great appetizers, great salads, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. They have all the beers you want and a full bar. The game room has the best darts area in town and indoor cornhole. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit texasdivorce.com. If you're tired of this, then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit texasdivorce.com. That's texasdivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
John, what do you think about these tariffs? What do you think is going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The prices on used cars have suddenly come up because the cost has gone up. And at GiveMeTheVin.com, we're paying more. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com, put in your license plate, and see for yourself. We're paying more today than we were yesterday. Remember, the tariffs have raised the car prices, and we are paying extra. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer. Sell us your car.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
The San Antonio Brahmas return to the Alamo Dome this Friday, May 16th for their Hats Off to Heroes game presented by Crisis Human Performance. Join the Brahmas in honoring our nation's heroes at this special military and first responders appreciation night. Fans are encouraged to wear yellow in support of service members as the team battles the Memphis Showboats. Plus, the first 2,000 fans receive a free Brahmas hat. Get tickets at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com. Our town, our team, our herd.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, Your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected. Your floor mats are cleaned and delivered. And your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NFL schedule is scheduled to come out on Wednesday night, but we do get some leaks, and we got a big one this morning. The Dallas Cowboys will open the NFL season on Thursday, September 4th. They'll travel to Philadelphia to battle the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. We're also hearing reports that the Chiefs will take on the Chargers in Brazil Friday, September the 5th. And, of course, it is draft lottery day tonight at 6 o'clock. Spurs with 2 chances, 6%.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix on this Draft Lottery Monday. No better place to be than at the Roof Hub, 281 and Redland Road.
Absolutely no better place to be. This is the place to be, to come watch this and see if Lady Luck smiles on the Spurs one more time. I know 6% shot, but who knows? It would not surprise me one bit to see the Spurs walk away with that number 1 pick.
And the reality is 6% or 14%. It's not like you're going against somebody with a 48% or 52% or 91%. So we know the lottery history. So, and you know what we did here in 2023? It was 2 years ago. And, we had a chance at the lottery with a 14% chance of landing Wemby. And Wemby, who grew up a Spurs fan, thanks to Tony Parker. The idea that sometimes things work out. So, you never know. And we're here at the Roof Hub, the best place to come hang out for an event like this. We know what it was like in 2023 because you've seen a lot of video. And old Jason Eggleston from Ken's 5, he just walked in. He's getting set up now. You get a chance to be on TV a little bit later on. Just don't act full of yourself. I know Don Harris texted. They're on their way over here too. So, Channel 4 and KBB and I imagine KSAT will be here and everybody else.
Well, and if Jason Eggleston's here, that means that big star Vinny Vincetta will be walking in at any moment.
Really?
So, he may even give you an autograph and a picture if you want. You never know. Vinny, yeah.
Vinny? Is he going to go live here at 5 and 6?
I have no idea what he's going to do.
It's possible.
Wouldn't be surprised.
They didn't check in with you?
No,
You're
didn't.
Still not calling all the shots over there at Ken's 5?
No, I'm not. No, they don't listen to me at all.
Well, they never did.
Well, they never did. Except for old Jason over there. He was pretty good.
He was pretty good?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He still is pretty good.
He is still pretty good.
I mean, to a degree.
Yeah. I know he's very unhappy now at work because I left, but, he got
to blame Nate Ryan for that.
He hides it well.
He doesn't really. I mean.
It's going to be a fun night in here. I guarantee there'll be a lot of coverage, and I'm telling you, you never know.
Well, and again, the idea of winning another lottery on the same day that all the Giannis talk has started, and whether you're listening to Shams or Windhorst or some of these other national NBA types, San Antonio reportedly, and look, we know what it's like dealing with the Spurs organization and getting information. If they are truly in on Giannis, and according to reports from these national guys, they are, They could put a package together better than anybody else with a bunch of picks. My question to you guys, if the Spurs win the lottery tonight, would you trade away Cooper Flagg and his potential for Giannis? And I have a hard time with that. I can listen to these arguments that some of you are having, and my goodness, there's some drama on our YouTube chat right now.
It's all right. That's what it's there for.
That's what it is. I mean, but there's all kinds of stuff going on in there. It's comical and hard to keep up with. But when you look at it, the idea of Cooper Flagg versus Giannis at 30 years old, and the tweet from Renee kind of says what I've been saying all day. No way trading one for 3 to 4 years of Giannis for Cooper's 10 to 15 years.
And again, though, you're still rolling the dice. Look, Cooper Flagg may turn out to be the next, I don't know, Michael Jordan. Who knows? Or
he could be Keith Van Horn, which was suggested on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, so it is a roll of the dice. He looks great at Duke. But again, as we talk about, that jump from college to the pros is a big one, and everybody's good. And so it is a roll of the dice. With Giannis, you know what you've got. You know he is an NBA superstar. So you've got to decide, are you still building a young team for years to come, or are we trying to win now? You brought up a great point that I didn't even think about with the fight that's going to take place later this year over putting an arena on the ballot and having people vote on that. You know, you get some excitement in here. Now, look, a Cooper Flagg would add a lot of excitement too. But you bring a Giannis in here, a bona fide NBA star into this team and put a Spurs jersey on him, all of a sudden, you've stepped it up a notch. And it's big time. So you got to decide what you want to do and how you want to do it.
And it is one of those rare drafts where you have a player like in 2023 with Wemby, where there is no doubt who is going to be the number one pick, and it's going to be Cooper Flagg. You know, there's so much weight put onto percentages to win the lottery and then percentages to get in the top 4. Because in a lot of drafts, there's 2 or 3, maybe 4 players that could be number one.
Yeah.
And rare that you go consensus number one, it's going to be Cooper Flagg. I promise you. There are 14 cities across the country right now, or well, we got 2 picks, so 13. There's 10, 12, right? All these cities that are in the lottery are figuring out ways in which they are going to get Cooper Flagg. You know, they're having these conversations in Utah and in New Orleans and in Philly and in Brooklyn and even Dallas. And Dallas has what, a 1.8% chance?
Dallas doesn't deserve it.
Well, again, although here a tweet 20 seconds ago from Sean Tarif from 105.3 The Fan.
Yeah.
Is Adam Silver going to repay the Mavs tonight?
For stupidity?
Well, I mean, for allowing stupidity to go through, right? But again, everybody has a mindset that's in the lottery that they've got a chance to win, which with the formulas that they use now gives every city a little bit of hope. Unlike the NFL, where if you suck the most, you're going to pick number one. You know, that's how they came up with this draft lottery and have worked on it, and, you know, through frozen envelopes and all the different deals. They've got this weird math formula that they go with. But every lottery city is doing that because of one guy, Cooper Flagg.
Sure.
And so when you think about his potential, I mean, the idea that he is a bust seems so remote because at his age, he's got everything. Keep in mind, this kid should be in high school, right? He reclassified and went to college. That's what's insane.
It is insane, and he had an opportunity, and it was a mystery there for a while whether he was going to stick around or come into the NBA draft, and he made that decision, and he's coming in. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. And I wonder what Cooper Flagg wants. And not that I'm concerned with that as much, because I'm not one of these guys that said, you know, you ought to be able to pick and choose where you go when it comes to professional sports. If Washington wins the pick tonight, then Cooper Flagg needs to go to Washington and play his butt off. But I'm just saying it's so much fun to see this. And I the one thing the NBA does really well, I think, is this. Now, it encourages tanking, which I can't stand. It encourages that, but the lottery itself is exciting, and it's a big night for the NBA.
Well, and again, you look at the idea of trading away your lottery picks. If the Spurs don't get Cooper Flagg and they end up in the top 4, and here's the thing, if they're picking 8 and 14, which is where they are right now, if everything goes chalk tonight, is that a package that Milwaukee would want for Giannis? Although the Spurs have so many other picks, and that collection of picks, they've been saving them for opportunities like what you're seeing right now. Nobody can put together a better package. That's the bottom line.
That is absolutely the bottom line. And look, I'm coming more and more to the realization I would love to see Giannis here. I really would. I mean, the thought of that it really excites me. To have him in a Spurs uniform next to Wemby, man, that would be spectacular. Cooper Flagg would add a lot of excitement too. But I'm sitting here thinking, while it wouldn't surprise me if the Spurs get that number 1 pick, I'm thinking that they're not going to. I mean, that's just kind of where my mindset is. The odds say that.
Well, it tells me that you don't want to be disappointed, so let me downplay everything. And then if they actually get it, you can be ecstatic.
I'm not going to be disappointed if they don't get it. I'm not expecting them to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do. This team's lucky as hell when it comes to this NBA lottery thing. So Giannis and Wemby, it would be pretty much unstoppable. I mean, honestly. And I say that, and as soon as I say it, that's ridiculous to say, but they would be a very difficult matchup for anybody.
Especially when you factor in what you have with De'Aaron Fox and Steph Castle.
Sure.
I mean,
and then you add some pieces to those guys. Do you stick with some of the young guys you got, or do you revamp everything?
Kevin Durant out there on the wing.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
Stop it.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Big rock show coming to the Boeing Center at Techport October 12th. You want to go see Mudvayne? Be caller number 9 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 9, those tickets are yours. If you don't win them, you can buy them. LiveNation.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends, and more big-time artists than at Texas Tailgates. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hozier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Faith, and a whole mix of other stars lighting up Zilker Park. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz this week for your chance to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We're picking one winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, and ACL wristbands. That's a Texas-sized jackpot. Want to lock in your tickets now? Head to aclfest.com. All this week, it's ACL giveaways. Only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can also text bail to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or online mybestbailbonds.com.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
Hey guys, are you or your spouse looking to lose weight in time for summer? Head over to any Synergenics or Low T Center for prescription weight loss treatment options. If you qualify for treatment, you can get a free B12 shot when you start. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. We're at the Roof Hub, 281 and Redmond Road, just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, getting ready for the draft lottery tonight.
Absolutely. Everybody's getting ready. Yeah, you got the TV folks are setting up, getting ready for their live shots. People are starting to come in their Spurs gear. It's going to be about that time.
2 TV stations here now?
We do.
All right.
Yeah. So you better come in and get your table. It's going to heat up here in a moment. Yeah, I'm thinking the draft lottery starts at 6.
Yep.
But it won't actually start till, 6:15 or so?
Well, because it's a TV show.
Right.
But you want to get your table, put on your Spurs gear, and I would say don't do anything dumb on TV, but some of you see the camera and it just happens.
I think it's all right to do that. Yeah. Can goose Nate Ryan when he's doing his live shot.
Is that what your goal is?
See, well, not me, but somebody.
I mean, you should do that.
Sheldon may do that.
Shelton might.
He might.
Shelton might.
It happened to me, and I got through it just fine.
Did you?
Although I don't see two drunk girls, good-looking ones.
You knuckle down and go a little harder.
I mean, I'm not sure how people are going to take that comment.
Well, I mean,
there's drunk girls here, just not good looking. Is that what you meant by that?
I don't think there are any drunk girls here yet.
Not yet. Yet.
Yeah. There are girls here, but they're not drunk yet. These girls were
plastered,
poop-faced. If you know my
really,
yeah. And they were very attractive.
And they grabbed your pooper.
They did.
Yeah.
They were very attractive young ladies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of the highlights of my TV experience. Enjoyed that.
A lot of compliments on my bend.
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie to you. I mean, some things you enjoy, some things you don't. I didn't ask for it, didn't suggest it, but it happened. And it was like, okay. It was nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That happened after a Cowboys game.
It did.
And we got news today that the Cowboys will open up the season in Philadelphia on Thursday, September 4th. Now, there are planned schedule leaks, and then there are actual leaks. And you're seeing some of the either planned or unplanned leakage coming out. And we know the Cowboys are going to open up the season at Philadelphia. Now, I'm a little surprised because it's not like the NFL opener needs the Cowboys to generate ratings. They could put whoever in there. But as a Cowboy fan, I am thrilled that they're going to force Jerry and Steven to watch the Eagles celebrate their Super Bowl. They will watch the Eagles unveil a banner.
Yes,
as a Cowboy fan, I am thrilled that Jerry and Steven will be up in their little suite there in Philadelphia and watch that.
You think they'll watch that?
They have no choice.
I would make the players go out on the field and watch that. I would if I'm shoddy, I'm saying, all right, guys, we got to go watch this. I would.
I can't wait till the NBC cameras pan over to Jerry watching. And it's one thing. I know they did this a couple years ago at Tampa Bay, and that's cool and all, but that's so different. It's freaking Philadelphia.
It's Philadelphia.
It's Philadelphia. And interesting that, the Cowboys seem to be building this year's team to win the NFC East first, not trying to win the Super Bowl and go backwards. Their draft focus on the trenches. They're trying to win the NFC East. And then, of course, they make a trade for George Pickens, a wide receiver, too. Although Stephen Jones on Mad Dog Radio today said they don't really look at him as wide receiver, too.
We look at him, it's just two starting receivers out there. We take him as more than a two when we were looking at the deal. Certainly, we looked at the draft, in terms of scratching an itch, seeing what might be available there in the draft. But here you get a guy who's got experience, who's had great success in the NFL, obviously a tremendous competitor. He reminds a lot in our building of Des Bryant in terms of, his competitiveness and what he brings to the field, his edge. And, we were, as I said, we were looking at the draft as a way to look at filling that need when it didn't happen. We had some opportunities around the league that we were looking at, and this one, at the end of the day made the most sense. And whether it was Coach Schottenheimer and his offensive staff looking at him, whether Will McClay and the personnel group, obviously Jerry and myself, felt like this was the best action for us, and certainly one that made a lot of sense to us.
Jason, I hear that, and it concerns me, and I'll tell you why. Because it's Steven already afraid to hurt George Pickens' feelings. That's what it says to me. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to make old George unhappy. George, you're a starter. We don't look at him as a number two. We got him as a number. They're afraid to hurt this guy's feelings so he doesn't act like some kind of a fool.
Sometimes being a good leader is knowing how to communicate with the people that are under you and figuring out what motivates them and what's going to get the most out of them. And I hear what you're saying, but also I go back to something that Drew Pearson said after they made the move. It doesn't matter. They're both starters. It's not like he's backing up and only comes onto the field when CeeDee Lamb goes off. The defenses will tell us who the number one receiver is. And And if you're not getting that attention, you're going to get the footballs. And that could change game to game. Drew Pearson actually said it best. We always look at wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. Now, I see what you're saying, and I'm there. And if you're CeeDee Lamb, all you have to do is open up your bank account, throw your contract on the table. You know who's number one. I think everybody knows who's number one. George Pickens might fancy himself as a number one. He's a diva wide receiver. I think all receivers kind of feel that way. In San Francisco, you had Ayuk and Debo, and who's number one? Your ego is the only one that cares. And George Pickens didn't demand a new contract when he got traded. He wants to play this year so he can go get paid like a number one. I'm surprised Steven would even make comments like that, because if he stays in Dallas, he's not going to get wide receiver 1 money. He's going to get wide receiver 2 money.
That's when
Dallas.
It matters.
Yes.
That's when it matters. And Drew's right. Steven's right. All of them are right until it comes to contract time. And then it does make a difference, because CeeDee Lamb is clearly the number 1 wide receiver in Dallas. And George Pickens they can say whatever they want to say. And look, George Pickens, if he wants to change his image, he's going to come in. And I would say that. Yes, CeeDee's the man here. I'm number 2. I come in to compliment that man. And I'm going to do everything I can to make this team better. And that's how you start with this. It's not, well, I'm 1A and 1B. Baloney. Get over yourself, as Greg Popovich would say.
Well, and you look at the Cowboys adding that weapon for Dak Prescott, knowing they're going to open up at Philadelphia. Dak Prescott coming off a, crappy year because of an injury. And Stephen Jones saying today on Mad Dog Radio, when Dak's had an off year, he's always bounced back.
I think we're starting to add the weapons. Dak traditionally, historically, not traditionally, has come back after an injury or a tough season and followed it up with a great year. I know a couple of years ago he came off an injury and a tough year, and he followed it up with an MVP type of season. Fully expect that again. Dak's such a competitor. You add the weapons, as you said, George and CD. We love our addition of Jaden Blue, the back from Texas, with his speed and juice that he can bring, not only running the ball, but to the passing game. And then, of course, hopefully it makes sense now. It's not the sexiest pick, when you take the best guard in college football with your first-round pick. But I think now that everybody's seeing the pieces come together with him and Tyler Smith at the guard, we spent a 1 on Guyton and Paige Steele, and then Cooper Beebe. I think we're really got the resources and the offensive line to give Dak what he needs in terms of time to execute in the passing game. But more so than that is to be able to run the football even at a higher level.
All of those things are true, and I think the Cowboys did a pretty good job of that. I love what they have in the running back room right now. I really do. I like Javonte Williams. I think he's in for a bounce-back year. You compliment him with Jaden Blue. For all the things that Steven just said, I surely hope for his sake Jake Ferguson has a better year this year, and he needs to. You add all of that up, the Cowboys, the pieces are there to have a pretty explosive offense.
Well, and then you look at adding in and starting the season at Philadelphia. You can already bet on this game. Depending on where you look, 6.5, 7 points. BetOnline has them at 7, so a full touchdown. Over under at 46.5. Past 5 years, the Super Bowl champ is a part of the kickoff game. Although 2 of the last 3 NFL openers were taken by the non-champ. Just saying.
Okay. It'd be a hell of a win to go on the road, game 1, and beat the defending champs at their own party, their celebration party. That would be awesome.
And you look at the idea that the Eagles are opening as the defending champions and their most hated rival, the Dallas Cowboys, are the opponent. I think it's great. And I love the fact that Jerry's got to watch Philadelphia celebrate. Now, because last year they're coming off of this all-in season, which they didn't do a damn thing. Right now, Stephen did say today, we're getting away from the all-in comments, boys. Can we? Because what NFL team isn't always all in, right? But this year, in the draft and the Pickens move, some of the other moves, they do appear more all in this year than they were last year.
They do. They went out in the free agent market, a lot of one-year deals, but they went out and got some pieces. They've got some depth. Look, I like what they did this year in the offseason. I think it's only time will tell whether it pays off, obviously, because I think Jerry has got a bad rap with some of the other teams that he's assembled, and the players just didn't come through for whatever reason. So they've got another opportunity, and Steven's right. Look, Dak has got his pieces. There is no excuse. No excuse this year. He's got to stay healthy. That's the one thing. Will he bounce back and have a MVP-type season? Well, we'll see. He needs to.
Yeah, and we're going to find out more and more games as more leakage happens. We know there's going to be a Week 16 doubleheader between Philly and Washington and Green Bay and Chicago on Saturday, December 20th.
Oh, that's what somebody on our YouTube page, I think it was Frank Botea, said that America's team is playing the Eagles in Week 16.
Well, I mean,
I don't know who he was talking about. Green Bay?
No, we know he's a fan of the of the Command Skins. And I love the fact that, every time he says America's team, he's just got the Cowboys in his head.
He does, yeah.
Living rent free.
Yeah, no doubt.
No
doubt about it.
There's a reason you get that Saturday game.
Very cool. I like the leaks. We'll get some more tomorrow. We will. And we'll even get some on Wednesday morning before the show begins on Wednesday night. So big week this week with the NBA draft lottery. You got the schedule release coming out. Playoffs continue. Good time of year.
Let's talk some NBA playoffs and the draft lottery coming up live here at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA draft lottery. Where do the Spurs pick? We'll find out. And the playoffs continue. Are we headed toward the third round? We'll look at it all, but you got to get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're having any issues at your house with your plumbing, your AC, there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC at 210-651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions. And right now, you want to make sure your AC is tuned up and ready to go for the hot summer months. Hit the jackpot with comfort with their Lucky 7's AC tune-up for just $77. It's a 7-point AC inspection that includes a check of your capacitor, indoor coil, and outdoor coil inspection. They will change your air filter, air supply temperature check, clear of the condensate draining line, and refrigerant level inspection. Get that on the schedule and make sure you're ready to go before the hot summer months are here. Call Quartermoon at 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com. Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Your marriage is over. You know it. Your friends know it. Take back control now with Barton & Associates, an aggressive, no-nonsense team of attorneys ready to fight for what you deserve. Contact us today at TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimer.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate that. You can always subscribe and watch us on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road, as we get ready for the NBA Draft Lottery tonight.
Looking forward to it. A little after 6 o'clock or so. Folks are starting to come in. TV guys are here and gals. And, yeah, it's going to be an exciting night.
Well, and again, you look at Cooper Flagg as the prize possession in this year's draft lottery. And the idea of if the Spurs win, Rupub is going to pick up your tab.
Yeah.
Hard to recreate the just incredible magic from 2 years ago when it was Wemby. That was incredible. But still, we're running it back. You get in here between now and 6 o'clock, whatever your tab is, if the Spurs end up with that number one pick, the Rupub is picking up your tab.
Well, I tell you what, we're all gamblers here. You got a chance. You got a shot. It's a long shot. Yes, I get it, but there is a chance. And so why not come in here and have a few drinks, maybe some food, and take a shot? You know you're going to do it anyway, right? I mean, so come on in here and have some fun with us. Look, we got another Spurs T-shirt just showed up there, ready to roll.
Absolutely.
I tell you what.
I mean, I look, and he's got, looks like pretty good drink in front of him.
Absolutely.
And he's hoping that gets taken care of later.
It.
Here's the other thing. It's 4:42. We got a couple of TV stations here. You want your chance to be on TV. We got people in their jerseys, people with their flags. The Spurs pride in a situation like this is just incredible. And it's always so much fun. And it is one of those moments, just in case you want to say you were here. And it's funny because we were here a couple of years ago. And I've talked to more people that said they were here that night. And I mean, my goodness, there, the number of people that claim to have been at the Brew Pub would fill up Freeman Coliseum, right?
That's true.
It is pretty wild.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. But there were a lot of people in here.
It was packed.
I mean, it was packed, standing room only, and this place went nuts when that number one pick went in front of the Spurs. So that would be a lot of fun again. Again, it's a long shot, but I'm with SB 2350
on our YouTube.
I'm sorry, on our YouTube page. Lottery's a lot of fun, but I'm tired of it. I don't want to be in it anymore.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I'm with you there, and I'm trying to remember who was on the. I think it was Peter J. Holt in 23. This year, Mitch Johnson is going to be the onstage representative for the Spurs. Now, what I find interesting, Akeem is going to be the representative for the Rockets. The Pelicans sent Zion. Now,
Zion,
I mean, like, dude,
they don't want to win.
You haven't done much for us, so why don't you go to Chicago and stay away from the pizza there, buddy? It is kind of interesting that they're not doing everything to kind of replicate, which is kind of, I don't know, the Spurs thing. They claim to not be superstitious in that way. But I look at what I find interesting is on this day of the lottery, and this feels so planned, that Giannis makes it known on lottery day that he's open to exploring options. And what is Milwaukee going to want? A lot of draft picks. So, there's a lot of fan bases today that are saying, dude, I love Cooper Flag, but we could trade that and get Giannis.
Now, see, I don't know. Is Wisconsin, are they a state income tax state? I don't know. But so there was another tweet just a few minutes ago that Giannis is intrigued by playing in a tax-free state, a state tax-free state. Now, I think Texas qualifies.
Well, Texas does qualify. And look, we talk about that all the time. And, it does matter to those guys, especially players as they get older. It matters to those guys. And all you need to do, if you've just ever wondered when you're talking about the bazillions of dollars that these guys make, and Giannis is in that neighborhood, go look at the amount of money that it cost Luka when he got traded from Dallas to Los Angeles. That dude took a massive pay cut
he did.
for the money that's actually going into his wallet. And then also with that, you cap the fact that he can't get a Supermax. It costs him well over $100 million going from Texas to California. And for a player that's been around like Giannis has and now 30, looking at taxes is probably a lot more important to him now than maybe when he was 22, 23. And the question that I have, I look at Giannis, and I'd love to pair him with Wemby. I would love to, and let Mitch Johnson figure out how both ball-dominant bigs and Wemby and Giannis get to share that one basketball. Not to mention De'Aaron Fox trying to get his, and Castle. Let Mitch Johnson can figure that out. Good luck. I'm
just saying, go play, guys. Have fun. I mean, if you got that lineup, goodness gracious.
But at the same time, if the Spurs were to win the lottery tonight, do you give up Cooper Flag to go get Giannis? What if they get the number 2 pick, the number 3 pick? How much do you want Giannis in San Antonio? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. The vast majority of people today are in on Giannis with a little bit of an asterisk. Apparently, Ron wants nothing to do with Giannis. What's up, Ron? You're on the Blitz.
You're right. You know what? I'm going to play the voice of reason. Okay. First, does Joe and Jason, does Giannis give you a 3-point shot? No. His 3-point stats are not good at all. So he doesn't fill that need. Does he give you defense? 1.5 blocks per game. Not bad, but not great. Does he give you perimeter defense? Not really. Is there enough ball?
Ron, where you're about to go with enough ball, we've kind of already discussed. But let me go.
Ron.
Yeah. Take everything you just said, and I don't disagree with any of that. But now pair that with Wemby, the fact that he would be playing alongside Wemby, who would then have more of a freedom to be out on the perimeter taking threes, which he does well, and you've got a better rebounding option underneath with Giannis there. Perimeter defense, that's where Wemby is going to shine, and he's not going to be forced inside the paint where Giannis is. So those two, because their games are so different, they complement each other really well for being as big as they are, do they not?
I will give you that, but I also, the last and most important thing, what you have to give up in terms of money, no.
You got to give up a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
But look, I think it goes back, and I'll give Jason all the credit on this because I didn't think about it. You want to win now. It's time to win now. And Cooper Flagg, as great of a prospect as he is, he's not played 1 second in the NBA. I have every feeling that he's going to be a star in this league. However, Giannis is a star right now. He is a Hall of Famer and will be a Hall of Famer. How in the world? I just think you got to win now. You have to. You've got an arena on the line. It's time to win now.
And I wonder how much of the business side will factor into the basketball decision-making. And I say that knowing typically the Spurs don't let the two mix. I would be hard-pressed to give up on Cooper Flagg, knowing what he could be for Giannis. Every other pick that the Spurs might end up with tonight, you can have them to get Giannis.
Yes.
I don't know that I would give up on the potential of Cooper Flagg for getting Giannis. Everybody else, crapshoot. I just also look at and think for the Spurs, there is a win now mentality with trying to build the building. And if you get a Giannis, the excitement level getting the yes vote for the Wemby Center is going to be there. Would it be there so much dramatically more than if you had Cooper Flagg and the potential? I don't know. Right now, if they end up with the 5th pick tonight is their highest pick. And we're talking about, I don't know, another dude from Duke or the kid from Rutgers, pick your poison. Then I think you have to be aggressive in going after Giannis to create that excitement. Although keep in mind, the 4th pick last year turned out to be Rookie of the Year.
Well, that's all very true. But I just feel like a guy like Giannis would bring this whole thing together. I mean, you talk about a nice mix of youth and veteran leadership. To me, it is a no-brainer. And I think the more I think about it, Jason, I think the Spurs have to gamble. They have to go out and try and make a move like that. And if you're hanging a banner this time next year, it sure makes things a lot easier to get people excited and vote on that arena and everything else that's there. I just think of Giannis. If you got a chance to get a Hall of Fame player like Giannis, you got to do it.
Well, and again, that's a whole different kind of raise the flag than what most people have been chanting
Right.
for the last couple of weeks. Back to the phones at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hey, Marvin, you're on the Blitz.
Yeah, I think if they can get Giannis, they get Cooper Flagg or the top 3 pick, they should take it.
Should take
because,
the pick?
No, they should trade for Giannis.
I got
you.
you.
You're not going to be able to pay 4 guys $50 million a year. And that's what you're going to pay. You know, when Giannis' contract is up, you're going to be paying Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, and Stephen Kessel. And they'll be in their prime. And the money that you're paying Giannis can go to one of them. If you get Cooper Flagg, you're going to have to pay 4 guys $50 or $60 million, and no team can afford to do that.
Marvin, I'm not the best at math, but Giannis is already making that kind of money. De'Aaron Fox is going to sign his extension this offseason. We know they're going to pay Wemby and Castle when it's time. By your math and talking dollars, isn't it cheaper to go get a Cooper Flagg and have him on his rookie deal than absorb the contract that Giannis already has that has 2 years left on it and a player option for a third?
But then Giannis's contract will end, and the money that you're paying him, you'll give Steph Castle. You'll still have three guys making, Wemby, De'Aaron Fox will get his.
I think they're all still going to get paid, and honestly, the NBA salary cap keep going up. And Marvin, I don't know about you, and it's not my money. So if this team is winning champions, I'm going to say, and they get the new Wemby Center, Peter J. Holt's not going to have a problem paying that luxury tax if there are championships on the way and a building is getting built.
What was that guy's name?
Marvin.
Does he work for the Mavericks?
He might.
Yeah, I think he is. He's assistant general manager for the Dallas Mavericks.
He's Nico's right-hand man?
Must be.
I doubt it. Hey, Ricky, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going, Jason and Joe? Huge fan. Just wanted to say, I saw on Twitter that Giannis is open to taking a step back and playing with the star players. So by my logic, that automatically knocks Houston out of contention because they got no one. We got Wemby.
Well, I like the way you're thinking, although a little blinded, and you can't trust everything you see on Twitter. But Giannis does feel like a Spur.
He does.
It feels like he would be that team player, that he knows where he's at. The idea of how well he and Dame played, when Dame went to that team. And, you go back even with Dame Lillard, and I so wanted Dame Lillard to come to San Antonio when there was an opportunity. But, you go way back in Portland's history. One of the issues between LaMarcus Aldridge and Dame Lillard is who was the guy. And so Dame matured, obviously, goes to Milwaukee, but I'm also guessing that he and Giannis had to figure out how to work together, and they did. I think Giannis can go anywhere and be successful.
I don't think there's any question, but I like, and I see the tweet he's talking about. Shams Charania is responsible for that. He wants to play along someone with take a little bit of the burden off of him. Wemby would certainly do that, and then you've got a distributor like De'Aaron Fox. You're talking about a team that would be very difficult to beat, and I just think, look, if the Spurs can pull it off, and if they want to, they can. If Giannis wants to leave Milwaukee, I'm going to tell you one of the best qualities of Giannis is his loyalty. This guy's been loyal to the Milwaukee Bucks. And when you look at that team, you look at the Bucks team, you're thinking, look, they've got to rebuild. Right? They've got to. So it may take some time, which may spur him to become a San Antonio Spur.
If you have a phone line, stay there. Your call's coming up here on the Blitz. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Little more than an hour away from the draft lottery, so you got time to get in here to the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road.
No doubt about it. Hey, let me tell you about my Connecticut quality water softener. I'm going to brag a little bit right now because I absolutely love that thing. And when I got it, I'm thinking there's no way this is any better than anything else I've ever had. Well, I tell you what, I was proven wrong, and I was proven wrong immediately. This thing is a game changer. Look, Connecticut is the most popular water softener on the market. They've been serving San Antonio for over 50 years, and all their products are made right here in the good old US of A. And you don't plug this thing in. It does not run on electricity. It's that kinetic energy. I don't know how it works, but it works, and it works so well whenever you need it, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And right now, for a limited time, you're going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they will install right there at your kitchen sink. Also going to give you $400 for your old water softener. And how about a little free money? 0% interest for 12 months. 0% interest for 12 months. It is one heck of a deal. You can't beat it. The offer is going to end soon, so give Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country a call. The numbers to call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Blitz. 2 to 6 on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See full details and disclaimer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
NFL schedule, we've got some leaks today, and it was a big one for Dallas Cowboy fans. They're going to open up the season on Thursday, September 4th. They'll take on the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. There are reports the Chiefs will take on the Chargers in Brazil the next night, Friday, September the 5th. Draft lottery day, 6 o'clock. Spurs have 2 chances, 6% chance of landing that number 1 pick.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons
The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road, getting ready for the NBA Draft Lottery tonight. And it's amazing how this place is filled up. A lot of people must get off work at 4:30 and have just come straight over here to the Roo Pub.
I think you're exactly right. And the people that are getting off now will be here shortly as well. 6 o'clock tonight is the NBA Draft Lottery, and there is no better place to watch that than right here at the Roo Pub. That's for sure. So it's going to be exciting. It's starting to pick up in here. Everybody walking in, getting their table.
Well, the idea that, if the Spurs can do it again, the Roo Pub is going to pick up your tab. And look, it's a big deal because Chip Ingram is here, and he is shaved and he's put on a golf shirt, not just a Roo Pub T-shirt, and he's wearing a white belt. Chip
I know, exactly.
Is dressed for this occasion, and he's doing a lot of TV stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, Ken's TV.
Even made sure to put Ken's TV on the big screen up there so he can get a nice shot of himself.
And they led tonight with a hit and run accident, not the Spurs draft lottery. And I think that really pissed off Nate Ryan because he's had to stand there looking into the camera for quite a while, which, let me ask you a dumb question.
Sure.
I've been in the media business for a long time. He has been standing in the same spot for at least 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you got to do that just in case.
What? Just in case what?
Well, what are you going to do? Walk up when they call your name?
Well, I mean, a minute to go. You kind of have an idea. This is where TV bloopers come from because somebody's rolling on that. And so anything going on in the background is going to end up on the blooper reel, is it not?
Well, Nate's rolling on it because, he goes home and goes back to the station to admire himself after he's done with his live shot.
Well, see, and now on Channel 5, their 2023 video of what it was like here in the Roo Pub, and then they go to some highlights, and now they're going live to Nate Ryan right now, so it could get very loud as you could see him here inside the Roo Pub, and then the guys that are in the background. So it's just kind of cool, but dude, have stood there for a long time.
Well, that's what you do. You got to be there just in case. I mean, if a story before you happens to fall away for some reason, you got to be ready to go. So he did the right thing. And now we're getting Chip making his entrance there on Ken's 5. So telling everybody what, this is the place to be.
Well, and of course, in the middle of all this, Greg Shelton's phone starts going off, or somebody's phone is going off. But it is comical. And Chip Ingram, and we're giving him crap because we've known him so well, but he did that perfectly. Whatever their script was, and I can't hear them. Then Nate turned and Chip just stepped right in and starts talking. That's well done. We'll give him a lot of business about this later.
Absolutely. I tell you what, this really has become the draft lottery headquarters.
Yes.
And it really has since the Wemby and that video went viral. All over the place when this place went nuts, and you can only imagine if that happens again. They're going to blow the roof off of this place. So I mean, it's just a great, fun place to be. Spurs fans all over the place. So if you're looking for a great place, and you want to come in order, because when the Spurs get that number 1 pick, they're going to. Chip will take care of your tab.
Yeah, your tab is taken care of. I mean, that's incredible, and I know just people last time in 2023 would have had tabs from anywhere from $75 to $200. And that was all taken care of by Chip. And this place was packed. It was incredible. And so the idea that they could run that back and try it again just seems like so much fun. And again, you could start to feel the energy and the buzz here inside the Roo Pub. You look at the big screens now, and they're showing video again. I believe that's actually my video that they're showing right now.
That could be.
Well, that's it. And the fact that Wemby saw it, and in his introductory press conference down on the Riverwalk, he mentioned the Roo Pub by name.
Wanted to come, but he's too young.
Well, but he did.
He did.
He didn't get a beer, but he had a nice non-alcoholic beverage. Met the staff, took a picture with them. It incredible. So when you look at it, the Spurs right now, only a 6% chance of actually winning the lottery, but a 26% chance of finishing or finishing in the top 4, which, again, tonight you could get Cooper Flagg, but there's also the potential of parlaying whatever happens tonight into Giannis. How much do you want the Greek Freak here in San Antonio?
I would love to see it. And I think if you're a Spurs fan, if you're a basketball fan, can you imagine going to the arena every home game and seeing a future Hall of Famer in a Spurs uniform? I think it would be fantastic. I would love to see it, and that would make the Spurs contenders immediately.
Well, and again, a couple of things in play when I think about Giannis. One, my initial reaction is I am not giving up on Cooper Flagg. I'm not trading away the rights to Cooper Flagg for Giannis. I would much rather have 10, 12, 15 years with Cooper Flagg and his potential alongside Wemby than a 30-year-old Giannis that I know is a Hall of Famer.
I don't know, Jason. I've kind of changed my mind as we've been here in the show and just listening to different sides and thinking about it. And I think something you said earlier in the show that just sticks with me. The Spurs have a lot riding on this season. They have a lot riding on what happens in the draft. They have a lot riding on what happens. And I say that because they want a new arena. And if that thing's on the ballot in November and you've got a Giannis coming to San Antonio, man, I think that's a game changer. I really believe that's a game changer. Cooper Flagg's going to add excitement too. Don't get me wrong. But again, he's got to come in and prove it. Giannis doesn't. Giannis is already a proven vet, future Hall of Famer. And I think he makes Wemby better. Wemby makes him better. De'Aaron Fox distributing the ball. You got a Steph Castle there. And you add another piece or two perhaps. And I think, man, this team is going to be considered one of the favorites to win it all.
I'm with you. And, man, I could be swayed. And quite honestly, is there a wrong answer here if you're Brian Wright?
No.
And part of that is because you don't know what Cooper Flagg is going to be. We all think he is going to be great. And I can tell you, and you know this because we were talking about it together when we were at the Final Four, sitting next to each other, just watching Cooper Flagg play. So there were points where we weren't watching the game. We were watching Cooper Flagg away from the basketball. And everything that kid did, knowing damn well he's going to be better, sold me that he is the guy. And this is one of those rare drafts that there is a consensus number one overall pick. There's a reason the NBA makes a big deal out of your percentage to get the number one pick and your percentage to get into the top 4. Because in most drafts, there's about 3 or 4 guys that could change a franchise. Rarely do you get a guy like Cooper Flagg following Wemby 2 years ago. And also you look at with NIL money, how much is that going to change the draft lottery in the next coming years with more and more opting to stay in because of the amount of money they could get?
Which in that respect, I think is a good thing for the NBA.
Yeah.
I really do, to get these players more seasoning in college than just coming out as young as they are. And really, I consider it somewhat of a surprise with NIL money that Cooper Flagg's coming out. He very well could have stayed at Duke another year, but he chose to come out. He's going to be the number one draft pick. Whoever wins that thing is going to draft him first overall. I don't think there's any question about that. And he has the potential to be a star in this league.
Yeah.
But it's still just potential at this point in time. We know what Giannis can do. We know that guy is a player. We know that guy is a Hall of Famer. And I just think, man, if you've got that choice, it'd be a tough one to make. And I know there'd be some split down the middle, but I'm taking Giannis if I had that opportunity.
But, well, let me ask you. He's got 2 years left on his contract and a player option in that third year.
Right.
You're willing to risk all that for maybe 3 years.
Yeah, I'd rather roll the dice on that and maybe win a couple of those years and move this thing forward.
And
Yeah,
I'd like to think if you're winning, he probably is staying.
Sure,
but
he's very loyal. We know that
he is very loyal, but he's also at a point where he's chasing a ring, and I have no problem with him saying I'm chasing a ring and I'm coming to San Antonio.
Right.
And I think the way he and Victor play, because they're not twins by any stretch, although the Twin Tower references are certainly going to be there, but their game styles are different. And if the reports are true that he's willing to take the role where he's not the star player, he would already be over himself, which is a requirement of Greg Popovich, right? Check your ego at the door. He just feels like he would be a great fit. And the Spurs can put together a better for Giannis than anybody else. If the Spurs want him, nobody can put together a better deal than San Antonio. The question is, how much do the Spurs want?
Well, that's absolutely right. And I'll use this where I've kind of, on George Pickens, he's the number 2 guy. Look, Giannis comes in here. He wants to play with other stars. He brought Dame Lillard to Milwaukee. He was responsible for that. I mean, pushed for it. It didn't work out for a variety of reasons. But look, Wemby and Giannis would make each other better. Nobody has to cede to the other. They would make each other better. Defenses wouldn't know what to do. What do you do? I mean, you're going to have to figure that out. You got a Wemby there, you got a Fox here, you got a Giannis over here, and throw in Castle. I mean, who do you stop? I think that all of those guys would make each other better, and all of them would thrive in that respect.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Let's go back to the phones. And Don, you're on the Blitz. What's up, Don?
Hey, Don.
Was Don gone?
He must be gone.
Don must be gone. Well, that was good, Don.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, good stuff. If you can be better than Don, dial us up, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Again, the draft lottery tonight, you can listen to it here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, but I know you'd rather experience it in person here at the Roo. Come in, grab a table. If the Spurs win that number 1 pick, Chip Ingram in the Roo Pub, they're going to pick up your tab. So get on over here to the Roo at 281 and Redland.
Well, I tell you what, I just saw the forecast, Jason, and it's going to be hot in San Antonio the next 3 days. Unseasonably hot, in the hundreds the next 3 days. It's crazy. It's up high as 105, and you know what kind of damage that can do to your roof. It really can, with that hot sun pounding down on it. And look, we're still in May. You never know. Those thunderstorms still looming, and you never know when one might pop up. I say all that to keep Stevens Roofing in your mind. Keep their phone number within arm's length, 210-785-0994. You know it's going to be a hot summer. That's what we deal with here in San Antonio. Hot summers, and they can do damage. Why don't you get your roof checked out now to make sure that everything is okay and that it is up to par and ready to go for the hot summer ahead? Because when you call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994, they'll send a crew out and give you a free, no-obligation roof inspection. And they'll let you know if they recommend a new roof or if it's just a minor repair or just that simple confirmation that your roof is in great shape. Either way, they're going to give you that peace of mind that you want and you deserve. Stevens Roofing and Solar, the absolute best in the business. They've been here for a long time. They've got deep roots. Give them a call. Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is gearing up to send you to the Austin City Limits Music Festival. 9 stages, 2 weekends, and more big-time artists than at Texas Tailgates. October 3rd through the 5th, and again October 10th through the 12th in the live music capital of the world. We're talking Sabrina Carpenter, Hozier, Doja Cat, Luke Combs, The Strokes, John Summit, Doechii, Faith, and whole mess of other stars lighting up Zilker Park. Listen to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz this week for your chance to win a pair of 3 3-day wristbands to Weekend 2. We're picking one winner on each show this Friday, and every qualifier scores a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Cold drinks, hot pizza, and ACL wristbands. That's a Texas-sized jackpot. Want to lock in your tickets now? Head to aclfest.com. All this week, it's ACL giveaways. Only on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know, to check you have your phone first before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Live at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road, NBA Draft Lottery tonight. Glad to have you along on the radio. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. But we'd rather see you walk in the doors here at the Rue Pub. The guy that I went to and he wasn't on the phone anymore.
Yeah?
He walked in here and just grabbed me during the break and said, I was sitting in the parking lot and figured I'd just walk in and tell you about Giannis. I'm good with Giannis coming here as long as he knows it's Wemby's team.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he leave?
He's over there getting a beer.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
A lot of people in here now. This place filled up pretty quick. Still room, though. Still plenty of room for you to get on over here and find yourself a table for this. It's exciting, man. I like it.
It is.
It really is.
It's you know, on a day that there is a chance the organization, and that means us fans, the fan base, can win something. We want to give you an opportunity to maybe win something. We call it a qualifier contest. Now, you're going to win either way a $50 gift card. We're doing this every day this week on the Morning Huddle and on the Blitz. And so we've got two pairs of ACL Weekend 2 wristbands. The Morning Show boys have a pair, and we've got a pair here on
I'm not sure
Blitz.
they have a pair, but I know what you're talking about.
Well, they have wristbands.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, outside of that, you know, whatever. But you can listen all week to the Morning Huddle and the Blitz and get registered, qualified for your chance to win a pair of 3-day wristbands to the ACL Festival. Weekend 2 up there at Zelker Park in Austin. If you've been, you know, it's always incredible. 2 weekends, 9 stages. Weekend 1 is October 3rd through the 5th. Weekend 2, which is what we are giving away, is October 10th through the 12th. Becomes the live music capital of the world. And you look at the lineup this year with Luke Combs, Doja Cat, Hozier, so many other great bands performing at Zelker Park. You get qualified. Each qualifier gets a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom.
And Sabrina Carpenter, you never know if she's going to be wearing clothes or not.
It's Austin, October. I'm going to go no.
Probably not.
Or very little.
Probably not.
Very little.
You never know.
Yes. So, I mean, either way. So you get a $50 gift card, and on Friday, maybe you have a chance at actually getting ACL wristbands to pair with that.
You will have a better chance if you're a qualifier of winning the wristbands than the Spurs do of getting the number 1 draft pick.
So how do we want to qualify somebody today?
Well, it's got to be something good, doesn't it?
Just you know, a random number?
I hate to do that, but until we can figure it out. We didn't go over this in rehearsal today.
We don't have rehearsal.
No, we don't.
Well, we have a show prep meeting, but we didn't talk about how we were going to do this. Partly because I didn't think I was going to be here today, but my flight changed to 8:30 tonight, so I came to work.
You did. That's very nice of you.
Now, we can guarantee you're going to get your ACL wristbands if you just go buy them yourself, aclfest.com, but that's not near as much fun as actually winning. So old Joe Reinagle this weekend played golf with some dude named Shane. And he was halfway through the round when he realized that some dude named Shane was Astros Hall of Famer Shane Reynolds.
Yes.
Former pitcher.
Uh-huh.
Jersey number 37.
Yes. Not 12?
Not 12.
Sorry, Pledge. I tried.
So we can go caller 37.
Okay.
Caller 37, because Pledge loves you. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776, and I'll be gone the rest of the week, so I won't have to deal with the wrath.
I will figure out something.
Caller 37.
I'll figure out something else the rest of the week.
Caller 37, you win a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom, 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway, and you are in the running to win ACL Weekend 2 wristbands. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I'm checking the pledge cam to see how many fingers he's showing me. Only 2 birds up, so he's all good.
Both hands.
Yeah, well, half a peace sign is an entire peace sign. Is it not?
Exactly.
2 halves?
Yes.
Equal 1 whole peace sign. Thank you very much. Good luck on winning those 3-day Weekend 2 ACL wristbands. All this lottery talk, which is understandable. It's lottery day, and it means something in San Antonio. Hopefully next year it won't mean a damn thing because we'll actually be in the playoffs. But before we get to the lottery at 6 o'clock tonight, that's the pregame, if you will, for the basketball we're going to see tonight. It should, I mean, tonight's going to be a great night, should be a great night of basketball. the Boston Celtics have a chance to even things up with the Knicks. New York, with those two incredible comebacks in Boston, got just curb stomped at the Garden on Saturday, in which Knicks fans showing up to Madison Square Garden with brooms for Game 3.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
And Boston took those brooms and shoved them right up those New Yorkers.
Yeah, where the sun don't shine,
Yeah.
right? Well, look, you had to figure Boston was going to play better than they did in the first two games in Boston. And look, is anybody going to be surprised when Boston wins this game tonight? You're not. You're not going to be surprised because they're probably going to, and then they'll go on to win this series. The best series of this round is Denver and OKC. I mean, that's been a fantastic series, and I look for that thing to go 7 games.
It might. That was such a big win yesterday for Oklahoma City.
Yep.
And the Cavs. I almost feel bad for Cleveland fan because it felt like they had a chance at something nice, and then they remembered their Cleveland. Of all times to get bit by the injury bug. But at the same time, do we give Indiana a lot more credit than they deserve, or the credit they actually do deserve?
Yes.
They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Do you remember that?
I do.
I forgot. Because it's Indiana. And that Halliburton is such an overrated player. I just don't even know. No, I'm kidding. I mean, at some point, Indiana's proven to be they're damn good. At the same time, Cleveland, which was so dominant all year, just the injuries all at once are going to derail because they're Cleveland and can't have nice things, apparently.
Well, and it's not just that. I mean, Indiana is just stomping them.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday wasn't even a game. And it's incredible. They're going back to Cleveland now for Game 5, which obviously is a must-win for the Cavaliers. But, boy, even I don't see Cleveland winning 3 straight and winning this series. I just don't. I think Indiana's playing well. Cleveland is just all discombobulated right now. And Indiana's going to take that series and move on.
Well, and you talk about injuries at the wrong time. Well, Boston, New York, the early game, the late game tonight, Minnesota and Golden State.
Golden State's in trouble with that Curry. I mean, he's there. He's the engine. And when he's not in there, I don't care. But they can play hard and they can do everything. But without Curry, man, they're in trouble.
The lack of threes from them the other night. But I'm with you. I mean, Jimmy Butler has played well. Draymond, I don't know what to think of Draymond. I think they're trying to rely on him, and in ways that they can't rely on him anymore. There's not enough other help there.
Yeah.
They need the win tonight just to give themselves a chance if, and I know it's a big if, Steph is able to come back for a Game 6, right? I don't know how much it even matters that tonight's game is in San Francisco. And it's weird, kind of like with Indiana. Do we need to talk and remind everybody just how good Minnesota is? Now, their regular season is one thing, but they have turned it on in the postseason. And the way Anthony Edwards has played, although a little inconsistent from a superstar status, and you can say the same for Naz Reid, but overall matchup-wise, with no Steph Curry, Minnesota wins all the matchups. They should win this game tonight and take control of this series.
They should, and then probably win it in the next game. It's just unfortunate that Steph's not there. And because that hurts Golden State. I mean, you're talking about, 25, 30 points a game that you're missing out on. And not to mention the fact when that guy gets hot, I mean, he's red hot. So it's tough, and it's unfortunate for Golden State that happened, but it did. And that's, that's the way it goes. So Minnesota looks like they're going to move on. I tell you what, Minnesota, Oklahoma City would be one hell of a finals. Don't you think? Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
But Denver's making it tough on those guys. And when you got a guy like Jokic and Jamal Murray's playing really well too, and I just, man, that series has been a good one, and I don't see that changing.
Well, and then you look at tonight, both road teams are 5.5-point favorites. Minnesota's a 5.5-point favorite. So is Boston. The over-under in the Celtics-Knicks game is 208.5. The over-under in the Minnesota-Golden State game is just 200.5.
Wow. A lot of these games have been low scoring.
Yeah,
well, I mean, they really have.
Defenses ratchet up in the postseason.
That's exactly right.
Curry.
Yeah.
What I find interesting is looking ahead to tomorrow, Cleveland is a 7.5-point favorite at home against Indiana, even though the Pacers lead that series 3-1. So 7.5 points and a must-win game for Cleveland.
Well, how do you not take the points in Indiana? I mean, I think Cleveland's they're obviously going to come out desperate. There's no doubt. And they're going to try and do everything they can. But they haven't shown me anything where they are 7.5 points better than Indiana at this point in time. That'll be an interesting thought process when I get to it tomorrow.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Pledge, did we get caller 37 yet?
Yeah, we got him.
So, do we want to congratulate anybody?
Of course we do.
Apparently not. Is this when the producer is mad at the host and doesn't want to talk because I made him roll through 37 calls?
No, I'm still having to answer calls.
Oh,
all right. Yeah, that didn't sound like a happy pledge.
He's not.
That's a frustrated pledge.
Have fun with that tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Have fun with that.
Caller number 512.
That'll be tomorrow. Well, and that makes sense since we're giving away ACL opportunities in the Austin area. So caller 512 makes sense.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'll think about that.
Yeah, you could.
I will.
Do that at 2:15, so he'll have a winner by 6.
Exactly. I'll lose him the rest of the show. That's funny.
I mean, just throw out random numbers. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, congratulations to whoever qualified tonight, and you're in the hat. So there'll be 4 more on this show, 4 more on the Morning Huddle as well.
Man, most of the time I'm happy for our qualifiers except for this time.
You're not?
Command Skin fan Frank Pateo.
Oh, my goodness.
SOB. Go Cowboys.
Yeah. Command Skins. Jeez.
All right, so now that we have our qualifier, we can get back to Giannis talk. You want Giannis at what cost? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Apparently 3 people are on hold wanting to talk Giannis when I did that, and they had to clear the phone lines.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we'll get those guys back on and talk some Giannis and lottery coming up here on the Blitz, live at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, the NBA Draft Lottery. Where do the Spurs pick? We'll find out.
And the playoffs continue. Are we headed toward the 3rd round? We'll look at it all, but you got to get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why My Lowe's Rewards members get a free paint or exterior stain sample to test your look and find the perfect color to confidently refresh your space. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid in-store only, 5/8 through 5/14. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Hi. My name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check for your wallet first before hitting the drive-thru.
$6. Sorry, forgot my wallet. I have change, though. Here's 40 cents, another 40. Ooh, a bicentennial. What's that? Oh, gosh.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Get a taste of that winning feeling before the buzzer sounds with ESPN Bet's Early Victory promo. Simply place a pregame moneyline bet on any NBA playoff game. And if the team you bet goes up by 20 or more points at any point in the game, your bet will get paid out early. Available throughout the NBA playoffs at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut quality water softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Being arrested isn't just a setback. It's a nightmare that can destroy your life and reputation. At Barton & Associates, we're here to make sure your one bad night doesn't turn into a lifetime of regret. Contact Barton & Associates.
Blitz here on 94.1 as San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel looking at Bus. Take that for how you want. I'm Jason Minix. Well, that could mean a couple of things and still be true.
Well, true. I'm actually looking at number one draft picks throughout the years and just looking at some of these that were just bust.
Well, and again, you look at that and you don't feel you're going to have that with Cooper Flagg. But I'm sure somebody didn't think that about, who'd you just say, Markelle Fultz?
Markelle Fultz? How about Zion Williamson? Is he considered a bust yet?
Yet?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It is interesting because if the Spurs win the lottery tonight, on a day that it was made known that Giannis is looking to leave Milwaukee, and San Antonio is one of those places that he apparently is interested in, would you give up the rights to Cooper Flagg for a 30-year-old Giannis? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. My initial thought is no. I could be convinced otherwise. I really could. But I like the potential future of Wemby and Cooper Flagg and the other foundational pieces the Spurs have already put together in De'Aaron Fox and Steph Castle. If I got a Giannis, I expect to be in the at least Western Conference Finals next year. Now, and we know how the Spurs operate. Business side is one side and basketball ops is the other, and they don't mix. But if I'm Peter J. Holt and I'm trying to get on the November ballot and get a yes vote, if I've got a Giannis, I'm more likely to get that yes vote because winning will be sooner rather than later. But I kind of feel like the Spur fan of me saying, I've got a Wemby, and I've already waited 2 years and we won the lottery, and we've been in the lottery the 2 years with Wemby. At what point does that lottery start turning into wins?
Well, exactly, and that's the other thing. Look, Wemby is great, and it was a great pick. Stephon Castle last year in the lottery, great pick. And whoever, if they do end up picking somebody this year, I'm sure will be a great pick. Problem is, it is time to win now. And I've kind of changed my tune. At the beginning of the show, I felt more like you. Cooper Flagg's got all this potential. But, man, I don't have to worry about potential when it comes to Giannis. Yep. I mean, we already know this guy is a proven star, future Hall of Famer. I don't think there's any question about that. You pair him on a team with Wemby and Fox, Castle, and whoever else you want, I think this team would be very difficult to beat. And you're right, it's a smaller window for sure, but I think it would pay off, and I think it would pay off quickly.
At 30 years old, that makes me a little nervous. Also, I only have a guarantee to have him for 2 years with his current contract. He's got 2 years left on his deal, then a player option. So he could say, all right, I'm in San Antonio for 2 seasons. To give up Cooper Flagg and whatever else it's going to cost, because it's going to cost more than just Cooper Flagg. That's pretty high price to pay for a 2-year guy at the very least. Now, who knows what kind of conversations they have with Giannis and Giannis's representatives. Maybe it would be longer than that, but right now I've got to make my opinion based on what I know. And I know he's got on his deal.
Go ahead.
I would say any other pick that the Spurs end up with tonight that's not number one, I'd be willing to add those into whatever else they wanted pick-wise to get Giannis. I think Cooper Flagg is going to be that special of an NBA talent that I'd be hard-pressed to give up that opportunity if the Spurs win the lottery for 2 years guaranteed with Giannis.
Okay, so let me just play devil's advocate and piss off every Spurs fan that's listening right now.
Yep.
There's no guarantee Wemby's here after 2 years.
Oh, that's true.
There is no guarantee that he's here. So why not try to win while he's here? I hope he stays his entire career. Spurs have had a good track record of making that happen.
Yep.
But there is no guarantee, folks, that he stays. There is not. And I think this team needs to win. I think the rebuilding, Wemby's tired of that. And Cooper Flagg, it might take him a year or two to get the NBA hang of it. And he may be a big star. He may be a big star right away. By in the past and seeing what I've seen, it takes players sometimes a while. And Cooper Flagg could be that guy too. I'm ready to win now. And I think if you can get a Giannis in here, if you get the number one pick, obviously it's a conversation. It's a debate. But anything other than that, you're taking Giannis all day.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Gabe, appreciate your patience. You're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, fellas. Over here at a lottery watch party. Was a little bit too far to make it to Rupa, but okay. So when Wemby went down last year, everybody said we're tanking for Flagg, but it's not realistic to think that we're going to get the number one pick. I'm pretty realistic thinker, except outside of Dallas Cowboys. And look, even if we don't get the number one pick, if we get like a Con Canupo, an Ace Bailey, I think if we get the Cooper Flagg, your question, Jason Minnick, yes, I think trade him for Giannis. Cooper Flagg might be a top 15, but Giannis is a top 5 player right now. I say make the trade tonight if you get it. But other than that, Con Canupo and Ace Bailey is who I'm looking at that would fit in with the team we have right now. And what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I appreciate it. I mean, I never thought we'd spend this much time talking about players from Rutgers, but there's a couple of dudes from Rutgers and a couple other dudes from Duke that if the Spurs just took whatever they fell tonight and kept those picks and didn't trade for anybody, you'd probably be happy with what they do. I do expect them to trade one of the picks, either the Atlanta pick and or their pick, depending on what they get. I'd be surprised if they drafted both of those guys, used both of those picks in this upcoming draft. But I look at the 2 picks they have in the first round in the lottery this year and their future picks. Atlanta's next year and that pick swap is unprotected too, right? So the idea that if the Spurs wanted Giannis, or quite frankly, just about anybody out there who comes on the trade market, nobody can outbid San Antonio. What we don't know, 1, what does Wemby want? 2, Brian Wright, Mitch Johnson, El Jefe, what are they talking about in the room? It felt like last year, even with everything going on with Pop, when they made the move for De'Aaron Fox, that was the signal that they were done skipping steps or not skipping steps, and it was time to hit the gas pedal and go and make that run to the playoffs. Then a blood clot happened. That changed this year, which is why we're all at the Roo Pub getting ready for tonight. And I just posted a video of what it's like in here on my Instagram at Jason Lennox at SA Sports Star. Place is full. It's going to be fun here. And probably 5:47, 6:15, 6:20. We should know where the Spurs are going to be picking with this lottery deal.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And again, you never know. Hey, there is hope. As long as there's a percentage, there is hope. So,
no hope for you, Ryan.
Well, no.
You're screwed.
And my wife just walked in and said hi and then left and went next door to the Angry Elephant.
Yeah. Well, they got machines over there that she likes to feed.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Hopefully she'll win.
Hopefully. Hopefully. But, yeah, I mean, you look at it, and you sit there and what's the old term? RPP? Rich people problems.
Yeah.
The Spurs have some serious rich people problems right now trying to decide what they think is best for their organization. All of us have different opinions and thoughts. Would I be mad if they got rid of Cooper Flagg to trade for Giannis? No, I'd be over the moon thrilled. I'd be surprised because it seems like such an un-Spurs-like move. And if Cooper Flagg turns into a Hall of Famer and Giannis is here 2 or 3 years and bounces and we don't get a trophy, but that's part of rolling the dice. As mad as Maverick fans are at Nico Harrison, the guy's rolling the dice. All these organizations roll the dice. Houston, they've been rolling the dice for years and haven't added to their trophy case since the mid-'90s.
Well,
right?
Since that guy named Dream, who will be at the lottery tonight for them, was there. You're right, and they've been trying. And look, they've got a good young team. But, again, they fell short this year to a veteran team. Did they not? And I just think, man, sometimes, you want to have them there. There's no question about it, but you need a good mix. You really do. Fred VanVleet, I guess, is most – Pledge, correct me if I'm wrong, the most veteran of guys there, certainly one of them. But they've got a good young team.
Yeah, it's nuts when you look at it and you think about what could be. And again, all the different scenarios, the way these lottery balls drop tonight. I mean, and it's not a big chance, but there is a chance Spurs could end up with 1 and 2. I mean, think about it. They could end up with 1 and 3, 2 and 4. I mean, and the reality is, there's a reason why the NBA historically puts percentages on what it takes to get the number 1 pick, and then they go percentages to get into the top 4. Because in most drafts, if you're in the top 4, you're going to get a player that you think can be that guy. Last year, Steph Castle, what pick was he? Number 4.
Number 4.
Ended up winning Rookie of the Year. Well, not number 1, not number 2, not number 3, but the 4th overall pick.
2 years in a row, the Spurs, so you got to figure they're drafting well, right? I mean, So it's going to be interesting to see and the possibilities, which we'll discuss the rest of the week, obviously, because we'll know where the Spurs are here in just about an hour or so. So it's going to be interesting to see the possibilities that come out, the mock drafts that come out, the trade rumors that come out. They're all going to come out. And so it's going to be a discussion from between now and the draft in June.
Well, and what I find interesting is, yes, the Spurs have a new head coach, but Greg Popovich is still in that building. So when I hear things like we've heard today, that the Spurs are very interested in Giannis, you and I have been covering this team for a long time. You wonder where they're hearing that, in a sense of, well, who wouldn't be interested?
Yes.
But if these national guys like Brian Windhorst are truly hearing, and maybe they're hearing it from other people, because I don't know that they're hearing it directly from the San Antonio Spurs, but at the same time, from Shams to Brian Windhorst on ESPN all day today with this Giannis story breaking. And I don't think it was an accident that Giannis's camp let that out on draft lottery day. The connections immediately to San Antonio, and quite frankly, Houston is in on the conversation. But we also know that with everything the Spurs have and their culture, it certainly feels like it's a perfect fit for him.
Well, I hear everybody talk. The Spurs are a perfect fit for anybody, pretty much. I mean, everybody's talking about Cooper Flagg. What a great fit it would be in San Antonio. What a great place it would be for him to land. Just look, the culture, you got to give the Spurs credit. They treat their players like family, very similar to the Cowboys, the way Jerry Jones does. And it's a family atmosphere. And so Giannis would fit in that mold. He's not a flashy guy by any stretch of the imagination. He's going to play ball. He's going to play hard. And he's very Spurs-like. The fact that he stayed in Milwaukee as long as he stayed in Milwaukee, a small market, and he's been loyal to that city and that franchise. So he's a prototypical Spurs player, and I think he would fit in here perfectly.
And, the different reports and rumors that he really wants to go to New York. Knicks can put together the right package.
They couldn't.
I mean, damn near impossible. And same with Brooklyn, if he just wants to be in that area and live in the city with his family.
Right.
So who knows? I know it's going to be an incredible night here at the Rue Pub, 281 and Redland Road. If you're on your way here, you're just going to have to make friends with some people. And look, there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
You just get your beer, get your food, and say, hey, can I borrow this edge of the table, because it's packed in here, which is no surprise. It is packed in here, and the excitement level, the energy level, you can feel it. It's going to be incredible. The morning huddle will have a first reaction tomorrow, 6 to 10 a.m., The Blitz tomorrow, Ryan Eagle flying solo. I'm off to Phoenix. My kiddo is graduating Arizona State tomorrow.
Congratulations to Erica and the Minix family.
Thank you. And of all days, because, boy, it's a day when you really want to be at work. But I'm going to go celebrate with my kid, who will have a master's degree tomorrow. Cannot wait. Nice. The draft lottery, if you're in your car, stay tuned. We've got it for you here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be